apart. We can live, we can love, yes, we can spark. We can give, we can hold, we can shine together. We can all just fall apart. We can live, we can love, yes, we can spark. We can give, we can hold, we can die together.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face-Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face-Off Hockey Show. With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
breakaway.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe in miracles? Yes!
Here's your host for the Face-Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
I don't want to say Alberta's bullshit, but when I come back and there's hail and snow on the ground, it's pretty bullshit. Pretty bullshit. Welcome to Face-Off Hockey Show. Scotty Waz. Johnny P is there. Margaret C's there.
C.
This mic stands really high this week.
Yeah, no, I kind of boosted it up a little.
Yeah, he did.
A little bit. We're all back in our respective homes. Johnny finally got back. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh,
I never left.
What's going on, Clint Dempsey on this?
Oh, jeez. Why don't rip up books? Stop ripping up books.
Don't piss him off.
I just found this leg next to me, so I figured I'd start ripping it up. I don't know what it means. It says Connoisseur Users Conference 95, and it has a picture of Maryland.
That's not what Maryland looks like anymore.
Right there. In 95 it did.
It's 20 years old.
Yeah. Well,
all the plates are shifting.
Well, no, look, it says NSA. So it was an NSA.
Oh, no strings
conference.
attached.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry. Wrong NSA. Oops.
Yes.
That is my knockoff group. Sans attitude.
Ah. That's perfect. That's a perfect name for a group, especially in this area. So congratulations. You're a big winner tonight.
Thank you.
So yeah, Johnny didn't get back till like 7 in the morning.
It's true. It's actually true. So remember when I left the show last week? And I was like, oh, we're getting ready to board. I'll have to see you guys later. It was another hour and a half. We left Las Vegas. We were leaving Las Vegas at 7 p.m., I think, 7:30 p.m.
Did you see Nicolas Cage?
Or
was that Nick Nolte?
No, it was Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
Yeah,
okay.
good work. And then this is the fastest flight I think I've ever taken. I wish that you could go. Are you able to actually like go back and see like the speed of a plane?
Watch
now that it's already gone, like now it's already taken care of. Because
I'm sure somebody has stats somewhere.
There's got to be advanced stats.
We never hit a cruising speed. It was basically we got to 35,000 feet and he was like, "Fuck it, let's go." And the engines are just the entire time. They're like, it was awesome.
I like
I
it.
got home in 4 hours from Vegas.
That's fantastic.
But I still got home at 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's weird. Do you have a flight number, boss?
Oh, really? You can find older flights?
I'm trying a couple different things. So if you
Yeah?
send me your flight number, and I can see what's up.
It was 409.
Oh, that's right, Formula 409. It was Southwest.
Yeah, Southwest 409.
Oh, let's see.
Round, round, get around, I get
I
around.
get around.
Get around, round, I get around.
From KLOS to KBWI. Amazing.
That is old school right there. Wow.
At least today's flight is leaving from gate B12 and arriving at gate A2.
Yep, we left we were supposed to leave at gate B12. That was where the San Diego flight stole our plane.
There you go.
Those bastards.
Yes.
You think they can do whatever they want to.
What day was this, Johnny? Was this...
It was last Wednesday.
What was
Subtract
last
7
Wednesday?
days from today.
I don't fucking know.
It was the 10th.
Oh, here we go. Boom, found it. So it left at 7:11 Pacific time.
Yes, it did.
It got into BWI at 2:21.
Yeah,
Eastern.
with time changes.
How many
though.
miles?
Speed 455 KTS.
Nice.
Up to 39,000 feet.
I
Distance.
don't know if that's fast or not, though. I don't have a relative speed to what
It's
other.
knots. It's knots per second, man.
Yeah, but I don't have a relative speed as to like
Alright,
what
well,
other
let's-
planes
there's
normally do.
A knot is essentially a mile per hour. For
What
all
is it?
intents
What's a
and
normal
purposes.
plane do? What is normal?
All right,
what
here we go.
do
Here we
normal
go.
planes
This
do?
is yesterday. This is yesterday's flight. Yesterday's
Okay.
flight got to 453. So it's pretty much the same.
Well, so it was
consistency,
pretty much the same.
And it left at 3:45 and got there at 10:47. So the same stuff. Travel distance of 3385 kilometers, 3,385 kilometers.
All right, then it wasn't any better. It just felt like it.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good, all things considered. Look at you.
Yeah, so it's amazing that I remember most of that. Actually, I
I'd
tried
say.
to sleep as much as I could.
Get any
Oh.
nuts on the plane?
Mm.
Do what?
Get any nuts on the plane?
I did not get nuts on the plane. Nope. I think that I'm pretty certain that Mom stole like whatever food I was supposed to get because I was
Yeah,
sleeping.
you probably slept through the nutting.
Yeah,
Ah.
slept right through it. There were probably some Oreos involved.
John,
Well, it's
fun
Southwest.
Fact,
They don't go brand name.
that's true. It's Hydrox. Fun fact: the day before, the 9th, the flight was 4 hours and 1 minute. Your flight was 4 hours and 10 minutes, and
Oh.
a couple of days before that, the flight was 4 hours and 41 minutes.
What's the record?
What?
Looks like 4:01 between yesterday's flight and the flight on the 10th or on the 9th. Oh, I'm a liar. The 7th, 3 hours and 52 seconds.
Oh, broke the 4-minute mile.
Solid.
Yeah, that tailwind.
There must have been a lot of tail on that one.
It's the junk in the trunk, son. Let's find
Do you think
out.
the amount of luggage that people carry back with them has an effect on flight speed?
Could be.
We might have to ask. What would I feel like ratio of checked bags to passengers on flight is probably some sort of advanced stats with planes.
Yeah, because they store the luggage right over the landing gear there. So I mean, it doesn't matter. Like in a car, you want all the weight over the propulsion in order to really get maximum amount of traction.
These
Therefore,
advanced stats for this
maximum
flight.
amount of
What would advanced stats for planes be called, though?
There's plain advanced stats.
Is there a Corsi? Is there like a
It's the
righty?
PAV. It's the plain advanced stats. Let's
PAV?
not make it. Let's not make this more difficult than we need to be, boys. Let me find the.
It's four-dimensional statistics.
You're four-dimensional. I don't know what that means.
It's
I
three.
apologize.
You're traveling in 3 dimensions in a plane, as opposed
And
to
then-
a car, which
and
is
then
really only 2
gravity is
dimensions.
dropping you.
Yeah, it's
You're
pretty-
fighting gravity.
It's funny. Here's your flight, Johnny. First off, you went up.
Are you gonna put it on the screen?
Why the fuck not? Haven't done this in a while. Scotty Screen Share. Brought to you by no one, but it's not sponsored. FaceOffHockeyShow@gmail.com for your Scotty Screen Share needs. Here you go. You started off, kicked it off, boom, 3,500 feet. Then seconds later, up to 1,580. You're just boosting up off the Los Angeles Center. Don't know what that means. Booming up, and about, it looks like 13 minutes of your flight, you peaked, 39,000.
That sounds pretty normal for me.
Hey-yo. Then you scroll, you have a nice latitude, you're through Denver Center. You get to Denver Center, you start declining. Uh-oh. Oh, shit, son.
There was
11:37.
actually a lot of turbulence during the flight. That may have been some turbulence that we hit.
There you go. He's dropping down in the Denver Center, going down 900 feet, then another 400, 49, boom, boom, boom. Over Kansas City Center, you're doing pretty nice there. Boom, you're going back up. Going back up again, up another 1,000 feet. Up 1,000 feet. And then there you go. And then Indianapolis Center, you're going back down, more down across the Midwest through storms.
Jesus, there was a lot of going down on this flight that I missed.
Hey-o, down, down, down. Hit Cleveland Center, you're starting going down more. Washington Center, and that's when you start your decline. The Potomac TrackCon, is where you, that was at 1212, 3,700 feet, and then boom. You're
I like
there.
how we don't. Oh, there we go. We arrive at BWI. That's the first time it says BWI. Everything is Potomac TrackCon.
Potomac TrackCon.
Is it? Don't they play in the Kumja?
Yes,
I
I
think
think,
they
they
do.
do.
It's actually the name of a dance club. Just play EDM. Just British EDM the entire time.
Oh, that is some advanced stats. I did not know that they kept that on planes.
I thought most EDM wound up being British when everything was said and done.
Potomac TrackCon! Coming right ya! Stand by!
No, that's the Rastafarian Targaryen.
There you go. So there you go. By the way, average fare 181.91 for this flight.
Average fare, by the way. That's the horse I bet on this year. They didn't do very well.
That's not good. They shot him in the gate, didn't they?
Yeah,
That was a terrible
he had a
choice.
mediocre run.
Oh. That's interesting. So that means probably
shit.
there were probably some people that didn't pay for the flight then.
I can decode this flight. Holy Jesus, I don't know what that means. It says decode the flight, and I don't know what's going on. I need a decoder ring.
Don't do too much of that. You might,
Yeah, at this point, I think we're causing these people from NSA at the
No, it's all
Connoisseur
online.
Users Conference '95.
It's no special. It's fine. I'm not even logged in. So
See, you can tell where we started hitting some turbulence where we're going through those patches of rain.
there you go. You go through the Midwest Center. Yeah, you hit it at around midnight or before midnight, just after 11:30. You started to go down, and back up right after midnight. You're letting it all hang out, and there you go.
True. We were up all night to get lucky.
Exactly. Exactly. Look at you go. My
So
flight
did
back
you-
wasn't up. But go ahead.
Did you gamble at all while you were out there? We didn't.
I did not actually.
You didn't do any gambling.
I did not do any gambling whatsoever.
Johnny likes to do all his gambling at Arundel Mills.
I've never been to Arundel Mills. Actually, true story is that
True story.
I've not been back to Arundel Mills since the casino has been put in.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, guess what?
It does kind of coincide with me getting a new job.
Well, that helps too.
So
Hey, spoiler alert. Guess what? You're not missing much.
yeah, I figured as much. But no, I did not gamble at all. I had some friends, mainly Matt Herman, who told me just to take all the cash that I had, put it on red as soon as I got to the casino and see how the week was going to go. I decided against that.
Oh.
Oh, come on! You didn't have to pay for anything.
It's true. It is true.
You could have done that.
I ended up actually out of my pocket spending $35 because the meals that I paid for in the airport, actually my company paid for too.
Nice. Would you pay it was $35 worth? If it's illegal, then don't tell us.
I bought 2 Red Bulls and a round of drinks at the bar after one of our events.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous. That's actually really smart.
Yeah. See?
You should have went ahead and comp that too. Just hand that bill and listen.
No,
Celebration.
we can't put alcohol on expense reports.
You know what? You know why you can't? You never tried.
It's true, actually. That is true. And then in July, I get to stay in a hotel in D.C. for a couple nights.
Hey, living large.
Oh yeah.
Odds it'll be better or worse than the one in St. Mary's County.
I'm.
It's a toss-up. That's a hard question to answer.
It's near Washington Hospital Center and like Howard University and that part of town.
Oh boy.
So I don't know where the hotel is exactly. I don't know if there's like places in the hotel to eat. I have no clue whatsoever. I just know I'm not paying for it.
There you go.
And I have to travel again.
There you go.
But I don't know if I mentioned this last week. We talked to a group of people that are putting in a computer program that I use in Hawaii, and they were looking for some people to work for them. So I might see how that pans out.
Pan's Labyrinth's out. That's nice. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun.
Mark's been to Hawaii.
I have been to Hawaii on a work trip.
Mm.
Although I didn't get to see much of it.
He saw
because
Walele.
I flew in on Monday, and I worked, and then I flew out on Friday. But I did see Walele golf course.
The horse's name was
I think it was
Friday.
Friday.
Mhm.
By the way, that was on Sunday night, and I
As
just
it should
stopped
be.
watching it. I was sitting there, I was just watching. I'm just like, this is amazing. Like, it's Little Big League. How is this even happening?
I feel like every time Little Big League comes on the MLB network, I sit and watch the entire movie.
Why? How can't you? It's a great cast.
What?
It's a
Come on,
great
The
cast.
Sandlot had a much better cast.
No. Kevin Elster, for Christ's sake, is in that. Ken Griffey is in that movie.
Ken Griffey is in the movie.
Leon Bull Durham is in that movie. Durham is in that movie.
I mean, and then you know that the play is going to happen, but they somehow still pull it off every time.
Jonathan Silverman, post Weekend at Bernie's, found the job. Good for him.
Was that post the single guy as well?
It could be coinciding. I think it. Ooh, that's a good question. A very good question, sir. We shall have to look that up. By the way, FlightAware is great.
Apparently, I did not know you could do all that stuff.
Yeah. That's how they started tracking down when Mike Babcock got the private plane. From whatchamajigger? From the Maple Leafs. There it is. So the single guy was from September 95 to April 97. And I assume Little Big League was 94. So it was before single guy.
So maybe his stellar performance in Little Big League spurred his illustrious television career.
Very possible. Hey, guess what? Dennis Farina was also in this movie. Timothy Busfield.
Dennis Ferrigno.
Yeah, Dennis Farina. Farina. Not
The
Dennis
Hulk?
Farina. No, Dennis Farina. He died of a pulmonary embolism, remember?
Oh, that's not fun. Why would you tell me that?
Why not? Dennis Farina, he was an actor of our time. I don't know what he did, but he did a lot of things. He did a movie called Scrambled Eggs. It was on Miami Vice.
He filmed it in his basement.
He was in a movie called Scrambled Eggs.
Yeah.
Was the sequel Bacon?
Possibly. He was Dr. Carlson in that. His final role was in The Family Guy as himself.
As well it should have been.
As right before the Looney Tunes show, he was Frank Russo. I don't know who that is either. He was in Law and Order. He was Dennis Joe Fontana, or Detective Joe Fontana. It'd be great if his name was Dennis Joe Fontana.
Dentist Joe Fontana.
Yep, dentist. He was in 46 episodes of Law and Order, and no one gave a shit.
Well, Law and Order has also, had like 1,015 episodes though, so.
It's true. It's very true. 46, and Law and Order as a whole had 456 episodes. Jesus Christ.
Well, that's just regular Law and Order.
Yeah,
you gotta count
that's
the
just
other Law and
straight up-
Orders too.
Fuck you, I will. I'm just the first one, and that's enough for me. Thank you very much.
Didn't the original Law and Order just end? They stopped running it, or stopped creating episodes or something? Or was that CSI? I think that was CSI.
Now, Law and Order stopped in May of 2011. So it could be CSI.
God, I'm behind on life.
It's fine. It happens. Don't worry, buddy. Don't beat yourself up over it. How about that? All right. Anything else from your Vegas excursion, sir?
No, Vegas vacation was good.
Nice.
It wasn't as good as my European vacation. But still pretty good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm guessing that after Vegas vacation is where my career goes downhill.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Possibly. It depends. It depends.
So we'll see.
You could do a TV show out of it. You never know.
Wait, now we have to look at Chevy's filmography. Did he have anything after? Because he still looked like Chevy Chase in Vegas Vacation. Was there any? Did he take off from Vegas Vacation until Community? Because that's the next thing I remember him in.
Ooh, woof. That's a good question. Here we go.
Like he might have hosted Saturday Night Live somewhere in between there.
Jesus
And Vegas
Christ.
Vacation was like early '90s.
Vegas Vacation was. When was Vegas? Why am I keep going back? Americans. Wow, he did a lot of bullshit. Vegas Vacation was 97.
Wow, really? That was right before we went to high school?
Yep.
Oh man, that's sad.
After that, he did The Nanny. He was in the movie Dirty Work.
The Nanny, like the television show?
Yeah, he played himself. He was in Dirty Work, the movie with Norm Macdonald.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's you know what? That is the bridge. That is the bridge because he looked like a little bit older there and a little bit fatter.
He was in Orange County with Jack Black and Tom Hanks' kid.
I don't remember
Colin
that.
Hanks.
Oh yeah,
I
do remember.
He was Principal Harbert. He was the principal of the school. He was in a TV series documentary called Freedom, A History of Us. He was Teddy Roosevelt, a stockholder, and Meriwether Lewis.
All three?
And Captain John Parker in different episodes. He was in a movie called Our Italian Husband as Paul Parmesan.
We have to see that. How
He
have
was
we
in a
not?
movie-
Wait, hold on. I'm
Yeah.
going to Amazon right now.
He was in a movie called Bad Meat where he was Congressman Bernard P. Greeley.
Bad Meat. Hold on,
Write
I'm
these-
looking up. What is it? The
write these
Italian
down.
Husband?
Our Italian Husband. He was the voice of the train in Dougal. He was in a TV movie as the voice of Cho-Cho in The Karate Dog.
This movie got 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which one?
Our Italian Husband.
Our Italian Husband. Of course, I'm surprised it was so high. He was in Law and Order. In 2006, Chevy was in Law and Order. How about that?
How much do you think Our Italian Husband costs on Amazon on DVD
Ooh, new?
with brand new Prime shipping?
Hold on, do you get just that DVD or do you also get meat?
It's just the DVD. Our Italian
This
Husband.
is just Our Italian Husband. We haven't gotten to Bad Meat yet. I'm going to say
Our Italian,
$4.39.
Ooh, John.
Our Italian Husband sounds like it should be one of those dual CDs that also comes with My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yes, or My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, go with the triple DVD. That's nice. That's
There
the
it
call,
is.
Mark. I'm going to say it is $3.49 free shipping.
Ooh, the highest without going over is John, $4.22.
Wow, I was close.
You
Shit.
guys were pretty good there.
We're on it.
You know your Amazon DVD prices.
We know our bad movie DVDs.
That's because I got Spaceballs on Amazon for like $2.99.
There is a lot of short movies he was in.
Martin Short?
Kind of. Hotel Hell Vacation, a video short where he played Clark Griswold in 2010.
Wait a minute. Okay. I mean, you don't have to.
Presidential Reunion, a video short. He was Gerald Ford.
Oh, well, the video shorts, he used to play Gerald Ford on Saturday Night Live, I think.
And poorly, too. By the way, this Hotel Hell Vacation has everybody from the fucking movie in it. It's got Chevy Chase, the Beverly D'Angelo, the Travis Greer as Rusty. They don't have the daughter in it. The storyline, Clark and Ellen Griswold embarked on a trip to visit their son Rusty and his family, but along the way, Clark has planned a romantic getaway where everything turns to disaster.
So wait, this is this is a hidden vacation movie that no one ever knew existed? Is this part of the series?
It's a 14-minute short. I don't know if it's canon or not. I assume
it has to be. It's all the same people.
It has to be on YouTube.
But by and large, I think it is, just because it does have the Clark and the Ellen Griswold just hanging out. So I like where this is going. So yeah, that's it's there. This is where we're at. Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase did a lot of stuff between then and then. So good for him, I guess.
And nothing like. Was Fletch ever a huge like box office smash? I don't believe it was.
I don't think so either.
No, I wouldn't say.
I think it became a cult classic.
It did.
Was Caddyshack a huge box
Yeah.
office hit?
Yes.
Well, here's the problem. In the '80s, I don't know if box office was as big of a deal.
It was the only deal. It's not like there was on-demand video
Well,
in your house.
you can VHS.
Yeah, but it didn't cost anywhere near as much as it does now, and you could
This
go to
is
the
true.
dollar place if you wanted to watch it after 3 weeks.
Fletch's budget was $8 million. The box office as a whole, $59.6 million. So that's a pretty big
I
success.
feel like that's
solid.
not bad.
That's a solid success right there. Let's look at Caddy. So 8 million, 59.6. Caddyshack
It
cost
only
six,
it only filmed $8 million. It only cost $8 million to film Fletch.
Guess what? It cost $6 million to film Caddyshack and brought in 39.8. So less than Fletch. But yet I think Caddyshack is a little more revered, if I do say so myself. And I just did. Here we are.
Maybe the prices were different.
Pas apply.
It could also be that maybe after Caddyshack, people went to watch Chevy Chase.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
was I'm sure he was a box office draw in what was that, 1978.
That was the 80s.
Women loved him in the 70s.
It was released in 1980.
Ah, Fletch was in 1980 or Caddyshack was?
Caddyshack. Fletch was in 85.
Mm.
There we go. Now I'm obsessed with what my flight was doing the other day.
See, see what I started?
He started
Now
the
everybody's
revolution,
going
brother.
to FlightAware to check how fast our flight went. We're gonna get tweets about it.
God, I hope we do. I really hope we do. It'd be so great if we did. What was my?
Leahy will tweet us while we're in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. If we're there. By the way, I don't know if I can change my flight, so I might be going to South Florida regardless.
Damn it!
I know.
I will be there one way or the other.
When did I leave? The 12th. My time and dates for everything is just so fucked. So I was delayed on my flight. It was scheduled for 2:40. Didn't get off the ground to 3:47 because we instead of a direct path through Ohio, we had to go underneath Ohio through West Virginia up through Indiana because of the storms.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Of course, I was flying first class, so I couldn't give two shits. Fucking have your way. And I also
Guy
had
just
a.
how-
How
on a
did you
plane.
set a record for drinks on the first class flight?
I didn't, because I didn't care about. I was not drinking as
I'm
much.
drunk on a plane.
I should have drunk on the plane. You got drunk on the plane. So yeah, and it's funny. I'm looking 2 days later. A flight was diverted. The duration was called diverted. I don't know what that means. It sounds scary as shit. Let me see if I can open this in a new tab. New tab? So yeah, and luckily I had a 3-hour layover, so I wasn't pissed off. I wasn't bugging myself. Like, oh shit, son. So this other flight, my same flight 2 days later, was flying from Baltimore. It got diverted to Detroit and just hung out in Detroit for a bit. So there you go. All right, FlightAware.com. Everybody, go check your flights. See what's up.
Yeah, let us know how fast your flight is.
Exactly. I should see I want to see how fast my flight to Minnesota from
My
Minnesota.
flight was what? 455 knots per second.
Yeah, 455. I was going
Yeah.
463.
Oh,
463 at a lower altitude at only 3,000 or 30,000 feet. At 3,000 feet, I was dusting off the goddamn tree lines. You know.
wow.
You know how I do.
Scotty's rolling then. Scotty has the fastest plane so far.
Got the fastest plane so far. This side of the Mississippi. And then my flight from Minnesota to Calgary through 458. Top altitude 34,000 feet. And got there in record time. Record time. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, we actually landed like 30 minutes earlier than we were supposed to. So I'm like, oh great, I got time to go drink, and I did. So there we go. All right. Mark, anything with your week, brother?
Not really. Went down to Charlottesville with the parents to go check out some wedding stuff.
Hey, it's getting closer.
It is. We got a cake person now.
That's how time works.
Yeah. We
You got
have
the ace of cakes? You get the ace of cakes?
He did not get an ace of cakes. Come on. We're not paying TV prices. Get out of here.
Get out of here. We're making podcast money. We're not paying TV prices.
But yeah, it was good times. We have a florist. We hired bus people.
What?
People for buses to shuttle people around.
Oh, okay.
Not people that are buses. That would be weird.
No, I thought you meant you were hiring people who were going to bust the tables.
No.
I'm like, that's really insane.
They supply those people.
Oh, good.
No, bus people. Just that Mark hired people to sit in a bus and just drive around and make it look like there were more people coming to the wedding.
Jerome Bettis is there?
He's not doing much else, right?
He's really
Did
not.
you get the guy from Immaculate Receptions?
Oh, God.
Oh, that's good. I did enjoy those commercials. But no, that's about all. That's about all I got. So for the weekend wasn't that crazy.
Hey, man, that's good. It's good. Venues are coming together, though. Everything's coming together.
And used together. It's all good in the hood.
Summer of George happening in a big way. The hell did I just do? Anyway, aside from the ball game Thursday, which was pretty cool. It's fun to watch that. Like 70,000. Not as many homers as last night, but a lot of homers regardless. As the O's took down the Red Sox 6-5. Stan, in rare Stan form. Now, we're around these people. We're in the bleachers. Just hanging out, minding our own business. There's a group in front of us. It's got kids. It's got counselors. It's got whatever. So, 8th inning comes along. Stan hadn't said 2 words to anybody else around there. So I know he's just itching to say something. Talks to, he taps the people in front of him on the shoulder. They're of different background. And he said, hey, where'd you guys meet? Was it a drug rehab?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no, I was just like, oh, I don't know if you say that or not, Stan. They're kind of,
Oh, my God.
wow. I'm sitting there.
Right now, Camden Yards is probably the best place because they have metal detectors.
Look at that. Luckily, I'm looking around for the exit. I'm just like, we're in an aisle. I can run up these stairs, just abandon him. So I diffuse any situation there was and shoot the shit. Then we get on the light rail, and Stan's just using all his elbows to get into a chair and just saying, I'm 70! 70, get out of the way, I'm old! He knocks this other 70-year-old guy off.
That's okay. I mean, if you're the same age, I feel like it's a fair fight.
Not only same age, but also Stan was 2 days older than this guy.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. So he's 2 days older. So tie goes to the runner.
I feel like Stan is as close that I will ever get to hanging out with George Costanza's dad.
Kind of. He is Frank Costanza. And also, he said next time we're bringing the wheelchair so we can get on the light rail faster and get into better seats at the ballpark.
I mean, it's a flawless plan.
It really is. It really is flawless because we do have a wheelchair in the house for when he had his back shit. So we do have one readily available.
That's what I used to do for Caps games when my knee was all up in a...
Oh, yeah, the best seats we had were the time that Mark had just gotten knee surgery, was all hopped up on Percocet, and they gave us the, disabled section.
Yeah, first row, upper deck.
Yeah.
It's the best seats in the house, right on the blue line.
Nice.
I mean, other than Ted's seats. Ted's seats are pretty good, too.
Ted's seats nice. So, yeah, we did that, and then Friday my flight back. It's funny, we were at the gate for an hour because of the storm. The pilot's just like, listen, I don't know what the hell to do. We might have to do another flight path. I'll let you guys know.
There's your divergence.
Yeah.
A different flight path. You shouldn't be worried about that.
He got some people on it, and we didn't have to stop in Detroit and stay into the rain pass. So that was good too. And yeah, like I said, I got to MSP. I'm just like, okay, that was an hour off my layover anyway, so fuck it. I'm glad. Don't have to worry about that. And then flew home again, and away we are. That was my week. Nothing else happened. Nothing else. Flag Day happened. That was cool. So shout out Flag Day. And hey, Ramadan begins tomorrow at sundown.
All right.
There you go. Father's Day this Saturday.
My favorite Don.
Exactly, Ramadan. What is it? Save that one for after the show, if I remember it. But on to bigger and better things. Johnny P is a seer of all things Stanley Cup related.
Yeah, I finally got something right.
Finally got something right. Aside that doesn't have a 200-point swing.
Add this to the pick'em win and winning the Leaf division this year.
There you go.
This is the trifecta.
The trifecta. If you boxed it, you would have gotten some big money.
Yes, shadow boxed it.
Shadow boxed it, like Fiona Apple. 6 games. That's all it took for the Chicago Blackhawks to win. Game 6, 2-0 victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Duncan Keith wins the Conn Smythe Trophy in a unanimous vote, 17-0. He was the big winner. Stats are pretty good. I think he played an average of 30 minutes a game in the final. So.
Is that an exaggeration?
No, I think he actually did play. He played. Let me try to find the stats because there was some insane stat. Like through over the playoffs, he played the 5th most in history of the Stanley Cup. So that's pretty remarkable.
Duncan Sheik.
Where am I going? Here we go. Yeah, unanimous choice. Blah 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 blah. Come on, load, you son of a bitch! I'm wired in. I shouldn't be this slow. Fuck you, Canadian internet. Scored a goal. Played 30 minutes 19 seconds in Game 6. He is the 4th skater in NHL history to log more than 700 minutes in a postseason at 715 minutes and 37 seconds, which led every player in postseason 31 minutes and 6 seconds average time on ice. That's pretty good. More than half a game. 3 goals, and all of his goals were game winners. 3 goals, 18 assists, 21 points as a whole, so better than a point per game as well. Look at him go. So there you go, Duncan Keith. Ninth defenseman to win the Conn Smythe Trophy for MVP.
Do we have a list of the other ones? Maybe we go through them.
Go ahead. Start it off.
Do you have it in front of you right now?
I have it right in front of me.
Chris Pronger.
No.
Damn it. John?
Paul Coffey.
No.
Bobby Orr.
Correct, twice.
Does he count as 1 or 2?
It counts as 1.
Okay.
Ray Bork.
Incorrect.
Rob Blake.
No.
Scott Stevens.
Correct.
Marty McSorley.
Incorrect.
I've lost track of defensemen.
Come on, John.
Nicholas Lindstrom.
You son of a
Correct.
That was my next one. Let's see. Sergei Gonchar.
Oh, sadly no.
I'm not good at this game.
No, and you're the one who brought it up.
I don't know. Lyle's going to destroy us if he starts playing.
Lyle's yelling at his screen right now because
Are we way off here?
Kinda. Not by much. Aside from those, Scott Niedermayer.
Chris Chelios.
Not Chris Chelios.
Niedermayer. We should have gotten Niedermayer.
Brian Leach in 94.
Leach.
Al McGinnis in 89.
McGinnis.
Larry Robinson in one of the 70s dynasties. And one you wouldn't have gotten, Serge Savard, also during the dynasty for the Les Habitants.
We did pretty decent. I think I won 3-2.
2-1 was the final.
2-1. Nice.
2-1, yeah. You got yourself Lindstrom and Stevens. Mark only got Bobby Orr. So there you go. There it is. There you go. Kimo Timonen also retired. So that's a thing. After the game, he said, "Peace out. Love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out of here." So he is done. Pretty good career for Kimmo Timonen, longtime Predator. Then went to Philly for a couple years, had some injuries, had his blood clot in his lung, and then got traded to Chicago. Didn't fare too well in the playoffs, but got his cup ring, so he's happy and going back to Finland. Dynasty, is this a dynasty team? Yes or no?
Yes.
Mark? He's on the phone.
In today's day and age.
Yeah, 3-6 is pretty good.
It's a pretty good dynasty.
But I've heard everyone say, "Hey, back-to-back is the thing that's really sealing a dynasty. You need at least one back-to-back." And 3-6 is not bad in a salary cap era, especially with the core being the same. Mark, dynasty, yes or no? This team.
Yes, I'm going yes.
Going yes.
I said yes last week
She
when
said,
we had,
you said when? You said how about right now? Go ahead.
haven't heard a good Chad Brock reference in a while.
Who has? Not even him.
Yeah, well, so Scotty was in North Carolina, right? So I mean, he's been closer to country music than any of us recently.
True.
Exactly. There you go. But yeah, you said last week that this was a possible dynasty.
I said, and I was, I believe, the one that brought up 3 and 6 years, and then I believe someone tried to correct me about 3 and 5 years.
I went 4 and 7.
And then I remember reminding them that 2010 is technically 6 years ago.
No.
Was it 6 seasons?
Nah,
5
it was
years?
6. I think it was 5 years ago. 6 seasons. Come on. Anyway, so the congratulations to the Blackhawks for their 7th cup in 27 years. So congratulations. But we do have a postseason injury report, ladies and germs. As boy howdy, this was going to be the injury report to end all injury reports because we got some stuff.
To see what condition my condition was in.
Yeah, oh yeah, what condition my condition was in.
And boy, how was it something? Ben Bishop.
It's now time for
What? Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Just let it play.
Injured.
The best. There it is. And the following announcement is brought to you by. Do we have the which Patanzo is it since we're on this roll?
Oh, geez. I think
That's a throwback.
I think that's at the. That's not on here. That's on my phone.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah, I have to plug my phone in.
Okay. Well, we'll worry about that later.
This is still the Columbus live show playlist.
Wow. That's almost 8 years ago now.
We didn't have the Kenny Rogers.
We didn't.
8
Nor
years
did we
ago.
have the Rick DiPietro thing either.
I added those two into here, but which Patanzo is in my Dropbox.
Make it drop. All right. So Ben Bishop, torn groin throughout the playoffs. He tore it in Game 2, and played through it.
There was a lot of cortisone that was being used.
They said he's not going to need surgery. I question that heavily.
What did they have? Did they insert tiny gnomes into his body in order to sew it back together? How is he not going to need surgery?
I wonder if they're just treating it like a cut. Like it's gonna, if we just leave it, it'll just mold back together.
Yeah.
Fine.
My groin is still pulled, or still probably torn from when I did mine. I never had it fixed. I don't play in the National Hockey League though.
So you're not a goalie in the National Hockey League, so you're not really needing it too much.
Mark, do you need a groin?
I need more than that.
To play goalie, I mean.
Yes. You need a groin to play goalie.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There you go.
I can confirm this.
Confirmed. Groin for goalies confirmed. Tyler Johnson broke his wrist in Game 2 as well, and he played the rest of the series with a broken wrist, but he looks like he would be okay. So just brace it up and away they go. Ryan McDonough of the Rangers, he won't need surgery on his broken right foot. Doctors say, just put it in a boot. We'll be fine in a couple weeks. So there's that. But Nate Thompson of the Anaheim Ducks, not so successful. Two labrum tears in each of his shoulders. He's out 5 to 6 months.
How do you tear both shoulders like that?
I don't know. bumping and grinding.
That's the point of injury where you can't even wipe your own ass.
Yeah, no, that's the most helpless feeling in the world.
Who was it?
It was Nate Thompson.
He's not even French, so that doesn't help either.
No, it's not.
What are you thinking? He has a bidet in his house?
First off,
I might have to install one at that point.
I think everyone should have a bidet. It's a great product, and why not? Cleans your ass. Scalding hot water up your ass. What's not to like? Secondly,
I mean, I think that's the sales line actually for it.
yeah, it's the thing. Bidet. Hot water up the ass. Here we go.
You just have a bidet or badonk. Do you want to be clean?
Bidet day. Benight. Anyway.
Bidet day.
Bidet day. Hey, bidet day. Shout out Martin Lawrence. All right, boys.
This is awesome. This
As
is the
the
gift that keeps on
Coyotes-
giving. Hold on, I think I might have gift that keeps on giving music on here.
Do we?
Actually,
Great,
yeah,
we
I'm
did.
pretty certain I do.
Because trust me, it created another fucking. There's
Let me
another
see.
layer to it. There's another layer to it. Oh my God! It's the music that keeps on giving. Like it's not even bad enough that. Woo! Here we go. All right. So when we left you last night, last week, the Coyotes, they went ahead and had a vote, and the vote was, or the city of Glendale had a vote on the Coyotes. The vote was 5-2 against the Coyotes, subsequently breaking the lease and leaving the Coyotes with nowhere to play.
Oh boy.
However, there was an injunction that the Arizona Coyotes put through, and that will basically go ahead and make a stay of that while they go try to find another venue to possibly play at if the Department of Justice or the grand jury or grand judge of Arizona doesn't favor their way.
The grand judge of Arizona.
Yeah, the grand judge of Arizona. Whatever that is, the grand jury, something like that. So there's that. Then there's this. Andrew Barroway is not completing his purchase of the Arizona Coyotes.
Oh.
The $305 million price tag that Andrew Barroway was pending to purchase the team has fallen through, as Barroway has come up with less than half of the $151 million that he needs to finish the deal.
Wait a minute. This sounds familiar.
And he has stepped down as majority owner of the the Arizona Coyotes. Why is this story so great for Schadenfreude? Why do we enjoy this so much?
I can't wait until the movie comes out.
Somewhere Jim Balsillie is in his
He's just
BlackBerry
counting.
layer,
He's
just
counting his tens.
He's
waiting.
just like, dude, look at this. Look at my BlackBerry passport. Here we go, and this is from Josh Cooper of Puck Daddy, who's done a great job as well in the new Diggs in his new role. He was from the Predators as well. According to Craig Morgan of the Arizona Fox Sports, a philosophical differences in the financial direction of the team has led Ice Arizona to buy back some of Barroway's shares. The process has been in the works since the end of last season, so this is nothing new. This was in April. It started. Barroway is expected to own more shares than any other member and retain his title as governor, but he will not have controlling interest. So, apparently he didn't come up with the money for the Coyotes.
I'm not sure how this gets better. I don't know what the next step for this is. I feel like we're in season 3 of a series, and we're I'm not exactly sure where this goes. I'm hoping that they keep up the steam of seasons 1, 2, and 3, but it might not be as good. The plot line might not be as good. And then all of a sudden they come in with a zinger right here at the season finale, and they're like, "But wait, you have to wait until the
finale
fall
was
to find out what happens."
Here's the cliffhanger. Not only do the Coyotes get a stay of execution in terms of them not being able to break the lease,
They get a last meal also.
They sued the city of Glendale for $200 million.
Beautiful. See, this is my problem with the whole TV analogy. It's when they start reusing plots that I start losing interest.
That's very true.
So you've already lost interest. Is that
Yeah,
what
I mean, you can't expect me as a viewer to be emotionally invested in a plot, and then like years later you try to rehash it, but in sort of a different way. No, I've seen this before.
Do you guys want to know the reason why they struck the deal down, the city of Glendale?
Because they were losing money. Actually, no, wasn't there some kind of loophole where where a guy that used to be on the city council is now part of the ownership or something to that effect?
There it is. There it is. A constitutional bylaw is in there, considering the fact that one of the former people who was an advisor to the city of Glendale during this deal is now working as an advisor for the Coyotes.
I'd say that's a plant.
It's a conflict.
Yeah, I
of
do
interest.
too. I believe that the city of Glendale planted him in to the Coyotes just so they could get out of this.
No.
deal.
What they did is they planted him being an advisor. So his name is on this lease. His name is on this lease as City of Glendale advisor, and now he works for the Coyotes. Thus, then they're like, all right, we have 3 years to make this happen, and year 2 we're gonna say fuck it, let's do it, and they did. Here we are.
I still think they should have just given the damn team to Redfield T-Bomb and called it a day.
Oh my God, T-Bomb it. Be amazing. Guess what? We could see him just yet. We could see him yet. Johnny could be back.
Yeah, how is any of this legal, by the way?
It's Arizona. When is their laws? Like, honestly.
It just feels like none of this should have ever happened.
Like it should have been. Like they should have been gone years ago. Like they should be in Vegas as we speak.
Yeah, like what's the point? If this was if this was inevitable, like it sounds like Arizona knew one way or another that this wasn't gonna last. So why even bother?
Your guess is. I want to say that this is the NHL saying, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to fall on our swords, and we're going to make this happen in Arizona by hook or by crook.
So you're saying that Gary Bettman is performing Sudoku?
He is. He is performing Sudoku. He's falling on his sword because he put 5s in the same box.
That's what that's called, right? Sudoku. I've heard that word before. I just assumed that's what it meant.
Yes, Sudoku is when the easy level is too hard, so you kill yourself by jumping on a sword.
Exactly. Can't find a place for this 9! Fuck! Ah!
I've dishonored my family.
Dishonored my family.
That's why you do those in pencil, man. Do it in pencil.
Fuck that. What are you, a quitter? Pen it up, son. Pen it up and be distinctive. Don't none of this erasing bullshit.
Don't be such of a jerk that you think you know what you're doing.
Didn't Sigelski have a saying about doing your math homework in pen? Something about being overconfident?
Yeah, you're definitely overconfident if you're doing it in pen.
Yeah.
He finally retired, by the way. Oh,
yeah,
I saw Father Mike last Thursday. Actually, that was something else that happened. I said hi for all of you.
Did they have a 35-minute YouTube when he retired?
No, not like they did for.
Damn it,
Bernie Canyon.
What's his nuts? Kenyon, yeah.
I'm Bernie Canyon. I'm going to put old days up here. I'm going to teach a class. I'm going to have a test at the end of it.
When Hughes retires, I'm going back to school for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be in attendance for his comedy hour.
we told the Hughes Sigelski story with the keys, and Brittany was actually sort of appalled that Sigelski used to come in and steal his keys.
With the keys?
And Father Mike was like, "Oh, it's fine. He was only stealing his keys."
Why did you steal his keys?
Yeah, I don't know why you guys are so down about breaking up with your girlfriend. Your future wife is playing hopscotch in the 2nd grade. That's what he told us in physics class.
Oh, I do remember that. Oh.
In 10th grade. I don't know what's wrong with you kids. Words of wisdom, and I still remember them to this day.
That's true.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's Stan levels of just craziness in terms of just any kind of. By the way, Mark, he still wants to talk to you.
Okay.
There's
Did you guys discuss that at the Orioles game in between expletives and?
yeah, in between expletives and pissing off minorities. Luckily, I got my food by myself before he started this war, so I didn't have to get up and leave him alone. Yeah, no, but it's funny that Hughes and Stan have the same wavelength. Also funny, apparently the Gila River Arena hosts a housekeeping job fair on June 16th. So yesterday there was a housekeeping job fair in the arena of the Gila Monsters or the Coyotes.
I see.
But they're also promoting. This is funny in the press release. They're promoting the 41 home games for the Coyotes, including several other major concerts like Sam Smith on August 12th, Taylor Swift on August 17th and 18th, Madonna on October 22nd.
Well, there's nothing in the contract that says they can't sell tickets to concerts. They just don't have any hockey games scheduled.
No, the Coyotes aren't going to sell that, but the hockey games might not be there. I'm just like, that's surprising they're promoting the 41 games, even though it may or may not happen.
Hey, if they can get people's money and then, invest it and then have to give it back to them, they've made that much more money.
Listen, if the AHL, the California teams in the AHL are playing a 68-game season compared to everyone else playing a 76-game season, I'm pretty sure we can come up with some math equations that the Coyotes can play 60 games on the road, and then we'll figure something out from there.
Why not? They'll be the best road team in the league.
Can't they use some of those? They can use that Kansas City arena a couple times.
Probably. And I heard that U.S. Airways Arena, where the Suns play, is available. They're going to go back there maybe, which would be interesting because that was the worst sight lines in hockey because it had the terrace. It had like the boxes over top of the goal line, so you can't see behind the net. So people in those seats would probably just be like, "What the fuck is this garbage?" So, good times there. Some coaching news. John Hines added Jeff Ward and Elaine Nasruddin as assistants, two former guys from the Penguins organization, which means Adam Oates, Scott Stevens, and Chris Terreri may be on the fence in terms of returning or not. So no word on one way or another. Interesting, John Hines just putting his mark on the team. Also putting his mark on the team, Mike Babcock bringing both of his assistants from Detroit to Toronto with him, and Jim Hiller and another jobber who I don't remember his name. I remember Jim Hiller because he was a junior coach in Tri-Cities. And Jacques Martin named Penguins special assistant to the coach, which basically means, listen, Mike Johnston, don't fuck it up or Jacques Martin's going to take over.
Right, that's exactly what that means.
Yes. Says, listen, we've had enough of your shit. You've got Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. Why aren't you winning more? And then he points to M.A. Fleury and just like, okay, well, he's special assistant for now because you have a shit goalie.
Special assistant to the coach. It's like assistant to the regional manager.
Exactly. The assistant to the assistant regional manager. It's the assistant to the assistant regional manager. During a losing streak, you see during coaches' press conferences in the room, Jacques Martin measuring for all his pictures and stuff he's going to put on the wall. He just got a tape measure out, and John Hines is like, or Mike Johnston's like, do you really need to do this now? Like, couldn't you wait until everyone's gone?
He's like, don't worry about it, I'm assisting.
Exactly, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, shit. Also, all the hockey, the minor league hockey is done too. First time ever that the Kelly Cup, or the Calder Cup, the Kelly Cup, and the Stanley Cup were awarded on consecutive days.
Wow.
The Calder Cup was awarded Saturday, Kelly Cup was awarded Sunday, and Stanley Cup on Monday. And then the NBA title on Tuesday, so.
Wow.
There you go.
What happened tonight?
Nothing. I think it was just baseball.
That's
where we're at. We're at baseball now. It's baseball season, everybody.
And the Women's World Cup is going on in Canada.
That's true. No one cares about that here.
That's true.
What are you talking about? Isn't Canada like one of the best teams in the...
Yeah, but no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit here. The ratings... By the way, that's another thing I forgot to put in the rundown. Ratings were revealed. The Game 6 was the lowest viewed Stanley Cup final clinching game since 2003 for the CBC. the ratings for Sportsnet are down 12% than they were to TSN last year. And this is after Sportsnet was saying, hey, yeah, we're going to be 20% better. We're going to have our ratings will be 20% better than TSN. Yeah, well, you're 32% off, jackasses. Way to fuck up the coverage. Go fuck your mothers. Anyway. By the way, if you're scoring at home or even if you're alone, the Orioles are going ham again on the Philadelphia Phillies. It is 6-1 in the top of the fifth.
Wow.
They put a four spot in the fourth. Travis Schneider with a home run. Chris Parmelee with another home run. Chris Parmelee, pickup of the century.
Yeah, I don't know. Where did he come from, first of all?
Is he a St. Joe kid?
What's that?
Is he a St. Joe kid?
No, he's he went to school in California.
Oh, okay.
He sounds like a St. Joe kid, though. He's from Long Beach, California. He came from nowhere in particular, it looks like. All right, then.
Parts unknown.
Parts unknown. Actually, it looks like he came from the Twins. Let's see. Why can't I get a...
Chicken Parmelee.
Chicken Parmelee. Number 41, playing first base, Chris Parmelee. He's batting .625, 3 home runs, RBIs of such. For his career, he's batting .252. So, good for him.
He
must
married
like the Phillies.
to Amanda Parmelee, who apparently is important enough to have her own Wikipedia page.
Attaboy. He came from the Twins. Signed a minor league contract. Signed a minor league contract before the season, called up on the 16th, and just went ham. 4 for 6 last night, 2 homers, and now he's 1 for 2 tonight with a homer. Just going ham, hard as a motherfucker. That's his Amanda Parmelee, a journalist, pitbull mom, book nerd, wombat lover, yoga pants enthusiast.
I am one of those as well.
A yoga pants
You're a
enthusiast.
wombat
Yeah.
lover? Abby Wombat?
All of the above.
Abby Wombat. She works for the BH Media Group in Hickory, North Carolina. She's a copy editor and designer there. Shout out. There you go. Hickory, North Carolina. And it's funny because Chris Parmelee there's a story in the Baltimore Sun about, I always felt at home in Camden Yards. How many games have you played there? You maybe played 2 games. Come on. Enough of you. God bless you. God bless you, Chris Parmelee. Now Chris Davis doesn't have to bat and strike out 3 times a night. Jesus Christ. Anyway. Maybe that's just me. Chris Parmelee. Mark on the phone making deals. Johnny getting Lyle Richardson on.
Yes, good work stalling.
Yeah, no problem. Just trying to get all my Chris Parmelee stats out there. Did you see that the fucking bullpen phone was off the hook?
That was awesome.
That was amazing. They had Jeff Francoeur, an outfielder, pitch almost 50 pitches over 2 innings because the fucking phone was off the hook in the bullpen. I'm pretty sure the bullpen coach is going to get fired for that stunt. Luckily, they couldn't stick around because they had to fly up to Philadelphia, so they couldn't stick around at all to get yelled at or get any kind of traction going. So there you are.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be completely honest at this point.
Mm-hmm.
There are way bigger transgressions than leaving the bullpen phone off the hook if they gave up 13 runs last night.
It was
19 runs last night, and then 6 more tonight.
It was 18-3 when they're trying to call and they can't get an answer. Of course you're not going to get an answer. Why use up your bullpen? It's at 18-3. Just get someone from the bleachers and they'll be fine.
I feel like at that point the bullpen coach should have just picked the phone up and been like, wrong number, and like.
I like the fact that the pitching coach was actually waving a towel from the dugout to get the attention of the bullpen guy. He's like, oh, phone's off the hook. Shit.
No, he wasn't waving a towel. He was waving surrender.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
That's what it was.
He was actually trying to see if Boog's Barbecue was still open so he can get a last minute Big Boog with some Boog beans.
You know what was missing? American Dream.
You see, baby, an 18-3, baby. What you gotta do is when you're pitching that ball, so sweet, so sweet, baby. You gotta put the elbow down. You gotta put the elbow down, baby.
There's no honor, no respect, no honor among thieves. Ric Flair put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. He put hard times on America when he took out Dusty Rhodes.
So what you have to do here is you wave your towel and you feast your feast on that Boots pork and beans. Drop the elbow, baby. The Midnight Rider will ride again, baby. That'd be great if Dustin Rhodes came out as the Midnight Rider. It's like, wow, this is really going meta.
But yeah, but
Sad,
such a
sad day.
sad, but yay, but Dusty had a full life though. You know,
Did he ever?
boy, oh
And
boy,
I
howdy.
didn't realize when looking back at pictures how
Yeah.
thin he got in a big way. I'm like, ooh boy, yeah, woof. So.
Yeah, but you know, but I mean, he was charismatic wrestler, man, and he was damn good. I mean, Dusty was a classic case of you cannot judge a book by the cover. You could not judge a book. I mean, you looked at him initially, and you thought, man, this is gonna be one of these, these old fat guys just gonna roll around, not gonna do anything, and he was just impressive as hell. Very agile for a big man. Very agile.
And it's funny, in that Hard Times promo, he mentioned John Wayne. Him and John Wayne, the two baddest men. 35 years before that, John Wayne died on the same day.
Yeah.
Like, great, both of them are dead on the same day. And they're
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But only Dusty Rhodes could get away with that. Could get away with comparing himself to John Wayne, and nobody batted an eye or laughed or thought, "Oh, you're just being crazy." I mean, no, not a wrestling fan. I mean, if you weren't a wrestling fan, you heard that, you'd be like, "What the hell is this bleach blonde fat man talking about?" He realized he wasn't the athlete of the day. How athlete of the day is supposed to
My
look.
stomach's just a little bigger.
My honey's a little too big. But that was part of his gift, though, man. He did bring that whole common man thing. People bought into it.
Yep.
They
Especially in the
bought.
South.
Oh my God, yeah. They could definitely identify with the son of a plumber because he was.
Yep.
And he did come from the humble beginnings, and he carved out a considerable niche in the world of professional wrestling. So
Best promo guy ever?
He's definitely right up there. Top five. Top five. I'm still a big fan of Roddy Piper and Chris Jericho and The Rock, of course. More modern guys, but for classic old school, Dusty wins it hands down.
My favorite promo from Roddy is when he was all coked up. And
who wasn't back then? Jesus.
It was during a pay-per-view, and it was just he was almost blue. How coked up he was. And I was like, God damn! Like he's fucked up. Oh my goodness gracious.
Man.
Gentlemen, Patanzo's thoughts on Dusty Rhodes.
I didn't get into wrestling until later on, so I do not remember a whole lot of Dusty Rhodes. Just some of like the older times when he came back and just talked, no wrestling whatsoever. But I've seen some videos and he was good. Seemed like a good wrestler. Seemed like he
his matches
going.
His matches with Ric Flair back in the 80s, in the heyday of the Four Horsemen and all of that. Yeah, that was classic stuff. That was good stuff. You can still watch that today. I think it holds up well.
It holds up, gentlemen.
Ric Flair was at the NBA Finals.
Of course he was. Yeah, I saw a Vine of him invading the broadcast. I'm like, what are you doing, you old man? You, God bless you. Crazy bastard.
Woo! He's just making money from going woo.
Dude, if you can make money from going woo, why wouldn't you?
Well, exactly. Well, hell, he's got 3 ex-wives to pay for.
Exactly. Well, yeah, you got to do it somehow, some way, right? Let's see if I actually found this. I'm looking at there was a picture on the Tumblrs that I found, but I have to go through all my other pictures that I liked.
Oh, by the way, very quickly,
Yes,
while
sir.
you're looking for that, you guys were talking about Fletch earlier.
Yes, we were.
We were. By the way, very underrated movie, I think.
That's a great movie.
I think Chevy Chase's best movie, and that's saying something because he didn't make a lot of good movies. He really didn't. Followed very closely by Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
And then, of course, the original National Lampoon's Vacation. But yeah, you guys are saying that was made for $8 million, I believe you said.
Yes, sir.
And made $59 million. That was back in 1984. Yeah. Now, impressive dollars, but while you guys were talking about that, I was like, I wonder what that would be in today's dollars. So, here you go. No, but seriously, if you came up with that, $8 million in today's money in 1984 dollars today is $18 million. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So that's still like a small, to make a decent
small
movie. That's still a small budget in today's. Yeah, $59 million in 1984 dollars is worth almost $137 million today.
Woo-wee.
So that gives you some idea. I mean, because when you say, well, it was made for $8 million, made $59 million, you go, well, yeah, it made a profit, sure, but that doesn't sound like a lot. Because in today's, but unless it cracks $100 million, nobody's impressed. But yeah, in today's, if that movie was made today for that price, $137 million is what it would have raked in box office. So there you go. Yeah, absolutely.
Tremendous.
So this just wanted to pass that on. Yeah.
Nice. Well, this is what I found on the tumblers.
The tumblers.
The other day. Here you go. A nice little touching picture of Dusty Rhodes and having all the other dead wrestlers.
There you go. There you go. That's kind of cool.
It's pretty neat. Kind of teary-eyed too.
But in a way, it's kind of sad, yeah, because you think all these guys have passed on now, yeah.
And this is just a fraction of them, of course.
Oh Lord, yeah, these are just like the ones who have figures made after them. Yeah,
you got your British Bulldog, your Macho Man, your Ultimate Warrior, Owen Hart, your Earthquake, your Rick Rude, your Hulk, your Bam Bam Bigelow, your Big Boss Man, and your Andre the Giant.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Fun times ahead. So Lyle.
Yes, sir.
The Stanley Cup playoffs was a thing.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Just pissed off. It's done. It's a fuck up. We're done. We're out. We out. And,
we out. I gotta say, first of all, again, I mean, yeah, look, I love my hockey and all that good stuff. I love to see the Stanley Cup presented. I love that sort of thing.
Over.
But yeah, when you get to the middle of June, like I said, my thoughts are turning to baseball, and being outside and not sitting around watching hockey. But anyway, you guys were talking earlier if the Blackhawks would be considered a dynasty. And they are. In this, they're as close to a dynasty as you're going to get in the salary cap world. Ryan Lambert of Puck Daddy, Ryan, who is also, I guess, sounds just like a comic book guy. That's what Greg Wyshynski told us a few years ago. He sounds just like comic book guy from The Simpsons.
Yeah, and I told him I discount everything he writes. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, but I mean, listen, Ryan's an antagonistic sort.
Ryan is a polarizing figure.
A polarizing figure. I've never met him personally. I've never had, the odd time that I've tried to interact with him on Twitter, he just ignores you. But he's a good writer. And he's the thought-provoking guy once you get past sometimes the blatant attempt at trolling or antagonizing. And I thought he made an excellent point. That 20 years from now, we're all going to be sitting around wondering how the Chicago Blackhawks were able to ice a team with that much talent and keep it together and keep the core together as long as they did. Because you think about it, Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, and for a second I was thinking Evander Kane. No, wow. Patrick Kane, right one. Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook, Corey Crawford, and then people are going to say, Corey Crawford, he's not a good goalie. Look, Corey Crawford may have adventures in the net at times. Yes, he may give up a weak goal here and there. But be honest, man, when the chips are down, when his team's back is against the wall, he comes through every stinking time. He's got 2 Stanley Cup rings in 3 years to prove that point. So you got 5 core guys right there locked up long term, and they just keep rebuilding around these guys. Because Brandon Saad, he's not going anywhere. Stan Bowman pretty much put the shot, drew the line in the sand, the shot across the bow today, whatever euphemism you want to call it, when he said Brandon Saad is going to be a Chicago Blackhawk for a long time. In other words, as the kids might say on the street, go ahead, motherfucker, make my day. Try and offer sheet him. Try. Just try. Because we will match. And you know what? To tell you the God's honest truth, I don't think Brandon Saad's even interested in an offer sheet. Teams can put it forward, but I've been making this point for the past week on my site and on the Hockey News that, folks, you got to remember, yes, guys like Brandon Saad and Dougie Hamilton in Boston could be targets for an offer sheet, but they've got to sign it. They've got to agree that they want to sign the offer sheet. If they're not interested, forget it. And this all goes back 4 years ago when everybody remembers when Stamkos and Drew Doughty were restricted free agents 4 years ago. And all of it, even I got sucked into the hype. All of us got, ooh, they could get offer sheeted, they could get offer sheeted. I honestly believed one of them would. Neither of them did. And as we subsequently discovered, the reason why, they weren't interested. And they told their agent to tell any team that contacted them, thanks, but no thanks. Not interested. I'm signing with this team. And I don't want you guys coming in and trying to complicate the issue. So if Saad doesn't want to leave Chicago, and he doesn't, all this talk of, he could go to Pittsburgh, he's a Pittsburgh guy. No. He wants to stay where he's got a chance to keep playing for a winner. Okay? Sorry, Pittsburgh, you had your moment in the sun. Gone. Go ahead, Scotty.
I was going to say, I would love to see the list of offer sheets that were turned down. Like if that were readily available, like who made the offer sheet and what the offer sheet was, and just the what would happen if that happened to the team, like what were what was going to be the butterfly effect kind of thing, like what would happen if he signs this, how would that affect him, how would a team match that's something I would be intrigued to.
I'll put it to this: I will be very surprised if he signs an offer sheet, but if he does, Stan Bowman's going to match it. Period. And he'll just deal with the fallout from it after that, So it's like, go ahead, guys, go ahead, because nobody's going to offer this kid more than $7 million. I doubt anybody's going to offer more than $6 million because of the whole compensation factor to begin with, And that's not going to bust the bank for the Blackhawks to match it. It means, I got to dump some salary. They'll dump it, and they'll go on because they've got their championship. They've got 2 championships now in 3 years, 3 and 6 years. So they've got an ocean of goodwill now that they're swimming in Chicago. Blackhawk fans will be very forgiving and will be very understanding if the team sucks over the next couple of years. And in fact, the feeling that you get if you read any message forums or, God help you, comment sections of anything, it comes from a Blackhawks fan talking about, your team's going to be in trouble, your team's going to suck next year because they got to dump a whole bunch of players. The overwhelming theme is, we're not worried, Bowman's got it in hand, we've been down this road before and we came back fine. So, they're not worried. And I think they've got good reason not to be quite honest.
I completely forgot Saad was a part of the 2013 Cup team.
Oh yeah, and Andrew Shaw as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings me to this I guess this thinking out loud question. In terms, and this is way far off, and but they most of these guys have 2 rings. What does this mean for Hall of Fame implications? Like, you look at a guy. Obviously, your Taves is going to get in.
Yep.
Patty Kane's going to get in.
Yep.
Duncan Keith is going to get in.
Oh, absolutely.
Brent Seabrook?
Brent Seabrook, honestly, he's been so overshadowed, right, by Duncan Keith. Because if Duncan Keith wasn't there, he would be the top defenseman on that team. He would. He'd be the #1 defenseman on any team in the league, pretty much. Maybe down the road, because he has been kind of undervalued, sort of thing. It could take a bit of time, but you can't dismiss it.
Like if he steps out of the shadow and is able to make his own way.
Well, he has. I mean, listen, you could turn.
Well, I meant like on another team, like because Duncan Keith is going to him and Duncan Keith. Let's be honest, top pairing in the league.
And oh yeah, they are. They are the top pairing. You hands down. You ask any GM in the league. I mean, no disrespect to Drew Doughty, no disrespect to PK Subban, any other ones that you can think of, but hands down, if you give them the choice, who would they like? What pairing would they like to have? Oh yeah, Keith Seabrook, automatic. Why do you think Team Canada keeps picking them?
Yeah.
But Seabrook, I think Seabrook would get Hall of Fame recognition, but it'll come well after. You know what I mean? Kind of like, in a way, kind of like the way Guy Lapointe was kind of overshadowed by Serge Savard and Larry Robinson during the Montreal dynasties. Kind of like in that way. But I think he will get his due at some point. But, boy, howdy, he's playing in the shadow of a great, great defenseman. I mean, man, Duncan Keith, I mean, the minutes that he hugged, and afterwards somebody just, jokingly after the final was over, just, hey, interviewer, hey, Duncan Keith, you just won the Stanley Cup and the Conn Smythe Trophy. What are you going to do next? Keith, run a marathon. Because I mean, the guy's cardio conditioning is off the charts, unreal.
He's a freak. He is a freak.
Super freak. He's super freaky.
Obviously, the person didn't ask that question was Sean Gentile, but we'll get to that in a second.
Oh.
Very, very quickly too, because I want to get Johnny in on this as well, and Mark as well. I want to get you both in on this because, well, we're speaking of the Blackhawks and the fact that they're going to have to, cut some salary this year. The Patrick Sharp to Washington Capitals rumors have surfaced again. So, what do you think?
I always loved Patrick Sharp. Now, this is going to be a trade situation, correct?
Yes, yeah, but here's the thing: the Capitals, the Blackhawks, they can't take very much salary back in return because this is strictly a salary dump that they're doing. So you're probably talking, I'd say, a top prospect. They're going to want a draft pick, maybe a young player thrown in there. One of that combination: draft pick, young player, or prospect in there. But that talk has surfaced again because, of course, we all know that before the trade deadline that the two teams were talking. So, Patrick Sharp to Washington, do you think that this is a good fit for the Capitals to address that need for scoring on the right side?
Depending on what they have to give up. If it's Marcus Johansson, I say absolutely.
I knew you were going there. We all saw that one.
I'll give up a second-round pick and Marcus Johansson for Patrick Sharp. Perfect.
The problem is that Johansson. I think Johansson. Listen, he's going to be getting a raise, and I think he's going to be a little too expensive for the Blackhawks in that scenario. So you got to pick somebody else. You got to pick somebody else, Mark.
Sign him to a hometown discount and trade him.
Okay. So Washington trades him. Washington, yes, that's where I'm going, John. Washington trades him to Chicago. Chicago then immediately flips him to somebody else. Pick a team you hate, Mark. Flips him to Pittsburgh. There you go.
And then he scores 40 goals next year for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, skating alongside Sidney Crosby. Everybody hates him.
I don't know if I like the Patrick Sharp thing.
Okay.
I like Patrick Sharp as a player. But I think there are other options out there at right wing this summer.
Such as?
Well, I mean, if TJ Oshie really is leaving the Blues, I feel like he could be a good fit in Washington.
I agree. Yep.
I liked your article that you had this weekend with Justin Williams, actually.
Thank you.
I like that one a lot. I don't know if Justin Williams is a top-line guy, but at least he fits in.
He'd be a second-line guy, and he's got all that playoff experience. I mean, and that's something, and that was for me was the crux of it. I mean, yeah, he's in his mid-30s and and all that, but he is a consistent player. Averaged about 20 goals, 45 points. More a second-line guy now than a top-line, but he's got all that playoff experience, all that leadership. Won the Conn Smythe, has won 3 Stanley Cups. He could be that type of player that the Capitals need to get them over that playoff hump.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Sharp is a good name.
It's a good name. I don't like that contract at all.
Yeah, $5.9 mil but it's only for 2 more years though. It's not like you're being saddled for a long period of time.
But if you can get TJ Oshie, who is $1.5 million less, and you probably give up the same amount.
Yeah, and only 1 year. Yeah.
And younger.
I would have liked Sharp a lot at the trade deadline.
Yes.
If that was going to occur.
Yeah. Mark had to drop out, so we'll wait until we can discuss that again with him when he comes back.
My thing is the move that I would make for Sharp for a second rounder in Stanislav Galiev, because it's a young right winger. You're not going to pay a lot for that muffler. And Chicago gets a draft pick, and you can put Galiev on a deal in Rockford alone, and you can just keep him in Rockford all year.
And that's the thing. I mean, they're going to want affordable assets back in return, because this is what we saw 5 years ago when they had to do all that salary dump in 2010. You know, when they move guys like Andrew Ladd. Jeez, think about it, man. That team that they had back then, the guys that they moved, like Andrew Ladd and Bufflin, and then the following summer they moved Campbell, they moved Troy Brower to your Capitals. You know, I mean, jeez, that was a good talent they gave up along the way.
And I'm looking at the Capitals roster, and it's just like the right side could be, aside from center, where they're the deepest.
Yeah, now they're deep now. That used to be. I know. Up until Kuznetsov had his breakout last season, or this past season, that was their weak spot. But yeah, that's improved.
They're pretty deep there.
No, I got to tell you though, Backstrom though, 5 months recovery from hip surgery, so you may not see him until December. That's gonna leave a mark. But Sharp can play center.
Well, so can Kuz. Kuz can play center too.
Yeah, but you'll have to bump him up first line. You're still gonna need somebody in your second line.
That's true.
So that's why.
Johansson.
Yeah, Mojo.
Brooks.
But Mark, just getting back really quickly though. Johnny was saying that he also considered maybe TJ Oshie, or my suggestion as well of Justin Williams as better options than Patrick Sharp. Your thoughts?
I would say that TJ Oshie is clearly younger than Justin Williams. It depends on what kind of deal they're looking to sign him to. It's not like the Caps really have any blow him out of the water scoring wingers coming up through the system, so they're probably going to want to sign somebody for more than 2 or 3 years, unless they're hoping to draft the next great winger over the next couple years that's going to play with Ovechkin. So I would probably lean more toward Oshie than Justin Williams.
Williams got the playoff experience, though. As I was telling the guys earlier, that could be, maybe he could be the guy that helps put them over the hump.
True, but I feel like that it's like the magic in that bottle is going to expire soon. It's
that's a legit point.
It's like the Scott Walker. I mean, we picked up Scott Walker for that exact reason also, and he didn't do anything that year. They didn't pick him up. So Scott Walker went through all those years with the Hurricanes going to the playoffs, and I think he played on who else was he? I mean, he went through like 2 or 3 teams that were all playoff.
With the Predators.
Yeah, and Predators, I believe. And then kind of shat the bed when he came to the Caps. So, not that Justin Williams is going to be that guy, but I wouldn't justify, especially since the Caps finally have a little money to spend this year. I couldn't justify trying to go for the guy that might make it for a bargain price that you can have for a couple years, as opposed to maybe the guy like TJ Oshie who's going to be performing at a higher level for more than 2 or 3 years. He's a shootout. He's really good at shootouts, which that can always get you an extra 2, 3, 4 points a year.
He's a good setup man too. So
and he's a
on
big
that
body
line with Ovi. That could be that first pass, one timer.
Yeah, and he's a big body. That the big body that the Caps haven't really had up front since Knuble retired. So I guess we can all. I think we all can reach the consensus that of the 3 being Sharp, Oshie, and Williams, that Oshie would be the best.
I mean, the thing with Oshie, I mean, well, Sharp's got a no movement, so he has to.
He has to agree. Though I think he would waive it to come to Washington. I think he would.
Oshie, they both have the same amount of years left in their contract at 2. Oshie is 1.8 cheaper.
Yep.
But he's also going to take a lot more assets to get him. I think for the Blues, you're going to have to give up a little bit more.
A little more, not a lot more, because they've only got so much cap space to work with too. Because once they sign Tarasenko to $7 million a season, and then re-up Jake Allen to his little raise, that's going to shrink.
Well, since they're getting rid of Barrett Jackman, that's fine. Whether they want to keep Zebedin Mihalik is another question.
Is it a healthy Barrett Jackman?
A healthy Barrett Jackman.
Now he's a healthy Barrett Jackman. Now he's a healthy Barrett Jackman.
Hey, 11 years later.
Yeah, exactly. This deal looks perfect.
And it didn't cost assets.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of good young talent on the Caps, farm system that they have a decent amount to work with that they can give up and hope for the best. So.
They just signed Nate Schmidt to a 1-year deal, by the way.
Yeah, 1 year,
Gru-
2-year deal, one way 2-year deal.
Yeah, so he's going to be up there all season.
Grubauer is definitely the backup to Holtby. That means
Which
Justin
means
Peters.
Justin Peters, thanks for your 12 games of service.
Why do I see him hitting the trade block, going to somebody for
Trade block? I see him hitting the wood block.
Yeah. What are you going to get, a 6th round?
Because he's got 1 year. Because he's got 1 year left. Yeah, but there's teams that are going to be looking for a backup.
No, Mark, it's going to be future considerations. It's going to be Justin Peters for future considerations.
Future considerations is
They'll get
so
a
much of it.
They'll get a draft pick, but yeah, you're talking somewhere below the 5th round, I think, at this point. But yeah, somebody will look at him for a backup. Somebody will take him for a backup. They'll want him as a backup.
Good for them.
Either that or he plays.
He played like dog shit up here. He was this is good. He won 3 games.
Well, they wanted, but the whole reason behind it was they wanted to buy time to give Grubauer just a little bit more AHL seasoning. But now, I mean, he proved. Listen, when he stepped in there and played that playoff game when Holtby was sick, I mean, come on, the kid's ready. Stop dicking him around. And this signing shows he's going to be the full-time backup.
My question is, how much time is he going to get in the NHL with Holtby playing 146 games?
That's the thing. Next year he's not going to have to play 170 games.
Well, he'll if they're smart, he gets 20 to 25 games, and you play him against the bottom feeders. Don't save Holtby. I hate when coaches keep overplaying guys. That's one of the things I hated about what Therrien does with Carey Price. And listen, Carey loves playing, obviously, blah, 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 and that's fantastic. But Jesus, save something in the tank for the friggin' playoffs, I mean, Dustin Tokarski's a good goaltender. It's just you never know by his stats this year because, Jesus, he hardly played. It's like 60 games for Carey Price. Play him against your top guys, 20 to 22 games for Dustin Tokarski, and you play him against the bottom feeders. Don't waste your most valuable asset on bottom feeders. That's what your backup's for.
There you go.
Jesus. Well, that's the way it always used to be. Common friggin' sense. You don't waste your starter, against a crap team where he could end up getting injured, and now you're done. I mean, Jesus.
Back when I had a blog about hockey, NHL hockey, I had the backup goalie index, the buggy. Where you do the frequency against the teams and this, that, and the other.
Nice. That's right.
So
the old buggy.
The old buggy. Back when I did NHL hockey, and now I'm just.
So but that's like I'm saying. I hope that Barry Trotz will be smart and limit Holtby to 60 games, keep him fresh for the playoffs. Now you got Grubauer, give him 20 to 22 games again against the bottom feeders, and let him get some good seasoning because. If Holtby does get hurt or sick again, you're going to want to have this guy to have had, some more NHL experience, more frequent game action under his belt during the season, in case you need to draw on him in a serious situation.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Of who?
Of anybody. Leaving this out to the board.
Hey, listen, I can write, I just can't talk. Piss off.
Mostly to Lyle. So TJ Oshie's obviously on the block for St. Louis, right? Is that known?
I think he has to be. He's the only one that doesn't have a trade clause, and he's been inconsistent for the Blues. As talented as he is, he's been inconsistent. He's been streaky. So I think they're going to move him.
Is the price tag for Oshie a first-round pick since the Blues don't have one? That's why I'm asking because it seems like a tough sell.
I think they angle for that. I think that's what I think best case scenario. That's what they hope to reel in with that. But no, I
even if it's only that, if it's TJ for a first round straight up,
I would do that.
Well, the Caps have the 22nd.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Just
go ahead. TJ Oshie.
Isn't that how they got?
You got to move a bit of salary though.
Second round for Troy.
Wait, what's that, Johnny?
Isn't that how they got Troy Brouwer? They had like the 24th pick, and they traded the 24th pick for Troy Brouwer.
That was the year they didn't have a first rounder.
That's right.
Their second rounder, and McPhee just wiped his hands and came back at like 2 o'clock the next day.
Yeah, he said, "I'm going to the bar. Fuck it."
I could be wrong about that though.
Let me give me.
Maybe it was the year they didn't have a second round.
I'm pretty certain that I remembered. I'm pretty certain that I remembered the Caps getting ready to pick.
Yeah, they picked for a first round pick
it for Troy Brouwer, and then McPhee came into the back and said, effectively, there was no one we wanted to take, and this is the best thing we could have gotten for our
Yeah,
first
it's
round pick.
the trade was Brower for a first rounder, which turned out to be Philip Daniel of the Philip Daniel, who hold on, let's see his stats. He played for the Victoria Tigre, then the Moncton Wildcats. He is in Rockford last year, the center, 13 goals, 25 assists for the Ice Hogs, and then played 2 games for the Blackhawks during the regular season. And yeah, that 2011 draft was that was something.
There was some decent stuff there, but
not
yeah.
the 27th pick. Although the Caps did miss out on Namstrakov of Tampa, Ty Ratty who's a heck of a player. Same with Rocco Grimaldi, Thomas Jerko.
Well, that's part of the reason why I think they want to move Oshie, so they want to bring
Brendan
guys in
Saad.
like Ty Ratty into their, up full time. Yep.
Man, the Tampa had a great first 2 rounds in that draft. Namstrakov and Kucherov.
I'm telling you, man, Tampa. That's a team that's going to be cup contenders for a while, for quite a while. Even with re-signing Steven Stamkos to the monster contract, we all know he's going to get.
Yeah.
I think what they end up doing is they might probably, I think they get another year out of Ben Bishop. They'll see if Vasilevsky has got the goods to be a starter. And I think Bishop is the logical choice you move then, even though that's something they don't want to do, but will have to, because you got all the triplet. Well, 2/3 of the triplet line is going to be eligible for not unrestricted, but for restricted free agency in 2 years' time. Kucherov is going to be eligible next summer for restricted free agency. But you also got Hedman in 2017 is going to be an unrestricted free agent, and that one's going to be
huge.
That's $8 million a season at least. I'm guessing by that point. I loved, by the way, that Hedman looked more like Triple H when he was standing there during the national anthem. You stand there and the hair was hanging down, and he did the big head flip with the hair going back.
Did he spit the water out?
Yeah, I said to my wife, I said that's the only thing that's missing is he didn't spit the water in the air. But because I was like, Jesus, that I just had a Triple H flashback to when he had long hair, Triple H circa 2010. But anyway, they're going to be a cup contender for a long time because Steve Yzerman has done just a magnificent job. He and his scouting staff, just a tremendous job of man. They just got so many good young players, and they're going to be an affordable team for the next couple of seasons. That's the thing. They're going to be able to carry that. They don't have any significant re-signings to do this year. They've got a couple to do next year, but they can afford it, And then when they hit 2017, by that point, as I said, you move out. There's talk they might try to move out a guy like Matt Carl. Not going to be easy to do because of his contract, but again, you might be able to find a way to do it. I definitely think Ben Bishop could be gone by the end of the 2016-17. No, 20. When is he a free agent?
Give me 2 seconds for this.
Yeah, is it? It's not next summer, I don't think. Is it?
No. Come on, load up, you son of a bitch. After the 16-17 season.
Yeah, so 2017. So I think that perhaps next summer. Maybe they end up moving him, or maybe they just carry on with him until summer 2017, and then say, okay, well, thanks Ben for everything, but see you later.
Well, they got some good goal. They got Chris.
Oh my God, the goaltending depth they've got. I mean, is just
Adam Wilcox.
Yeah,
They got some stuff there.
So I mean, let's be honest. Hedman is not going anywhere. Stamkos is not going anywhere. All the triplets will be re-signed. That is going to happen. And with the guys they've already got there, I mean, Strawman, what a pickup that was, last summer.
Mm-hmm.
And and I mean, Alex Killorn next year will be an interesting sign, but I think they'll get him re-signed as well because he's a valuable part of their core.
Well, he's an RFA, so you got.
Yeah. So they're going to be in good shape. They're going to be in good shape for a long time. They're going to be a very tough team to beat in the East. When people are saying the Rangers, I think the Rangers window is, if it hasn't closed already, it's getting close.
It's done.
Montreal is not there yet. They don't have the offensive depth, and quite frankly, I'm still not a fan of Michel Therrien's so-called defensive system. When your defensive system is carry, Yeah. Sorry.
Enjoy.
Yeah. No, that's not a defensive system. So I'm not there with them. But Tampa Bay is just going to be just an amazing team
Tampa
for the next few years.
All day, every day. So we talked about the 2011 draft. And we talked about that. We talked about the names that were there and the Caps trading. Who the hell is Mike Riley, and why the fuck should I care?
Mike Riley is a highly sought-after NCAA defensive prospect who has now decided to become an unrestricted free agent. And Ryan Johansson said, screw him, we didn't want him anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That's a thing to.
Hey, what the hell? If he's going to spurn you, well, then screw him. You know, we didn't want you. We didn't want you anyway.
Screw you.
Exactly. I actually kind of liked if he actually did say that. I read that somewhere. That's what Ryan Johansson actually said. I don't know.
Well,
if
he's going to be named the new captain soon.
Well, no, Nick Foligno is the captain.
He's going to be named the new captain. So Nick Foligno is going to get injured.
Nick Foligno is the captain. But anyway,
he's going to get injured. Don't worry.
But yeah. So apparently, yes, he's quite the young defensive prospect apparently, and yeah. So they want to look at a bunch of teams are hoping to be able to sign him. All I can say is, well, I hope he's the goods that he's made out to be. Yeah, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Crapshoot.
Pretty much, especially with this last year for Minnesota in the Big Ten, 6 goals, 36 assists in 39 games. So take that for what it's worth.
Looks good. Looks good. I listen. Didn't I? Looks good.
His last year in Junior A for Penticton, the V's, 24 goals, 59 assists in 51 games.
Mm-hmm.
So he has that offensive upside possible.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Who he goes to, how he's going to be worked in, and if it translates from the NCAA game to the NHL game. And if he's going to be a dick and want to be on the NHL roster immediately rather than going to the minors.
Yeah. Well, and look at it. I mean, obviously, he just didn't want to go to Columbus. As much as, you know, he and his agent were saying, oh, we're not ruling it out. As soon as you hear that sort of talk 2 weeks before he's due to become an unrestricted free agent, you know he's gone. There's
not really a spot for me.
And it's not like they could give him any money. You know what I mean? He's coming in on an entry-level contract. You know, there's only a certain limit that any team can sign anybody to on an entry-level contract. So it's not like he's going to make more money going somewhere else. He just didn't want to go to Columbus, you know. And it's a shame because Columbus is a team that in the next couple of years keep an eye on because if it wasn't for injuries this year, they were in the playoffs. They absolutely were in the playoffs. That's another young team to keep an eye on in the Eastern Conference. They're going to be challenging the big boys very, very soon. We got a taste of that last season when they made the playoffs and scared the shit out of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, you know, they're healthy this season coming. Watch out. They're going to be a tough team, and I think Riley could end up regretting that decision. I just think it's because, well, Columbus has sucked for so long that I just think there's a perception that, well, they're a bad team. They're always going to be a bad team. You know, or whatever. And it's like if anybody has that opinion, they're not paying attention because they're building something special in Columbus right now.
Yeah, and then they still have prospects down in now they're going to be in Lake Erie next year. But one of the kids to look out for is Austin Mediski, who is a stud. Led the Springfield Falcons last year in points. One of the top rookies last year. So I mean, defensive wise, they're set, and I think that's probably why they could give up Mike Riley. Because,
well, they are still looking.
Guys, don't worry.
Yeah, well, they are still looking for young defensemen. They are, you know, they do want to add young defensemen because that for them is still an issue. They want to,
sure.
But I think they're looking for more NHL ready youth right now. They've got kids in their pipeline, as you noted, but I think they're looking for some NHL ready young guys who are going to come in and can be there for a long time rather than just their 2 or 3 years and they're gone.
They have the most blue-blooded name in their farm system now, Dylan Hetherington.
Ooh, yes.
Dylan Hetherington.
You just made that up.
You know that he has friends named Ted and Buffy. You just know it.
He played for the Swift Current Broncos last year. Speedy Creek, as the kids like to call it.
Yes. Oh, by the way, really quickly, just as a side note here, showing up on the Twitterscape, Flyers GM Ron Hextall tonight said that, as expected, he did not submit a buyout offer to Vincent Lecavalier. So there you go.
4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years.
Well, I can understand why they don't want to give him a buyout offer because the terms of that are ugly. Ugly. Yes. Thank you, Paul Holmgren, the gift that keeps on giving. I'm sure that's what Ron Hextall's saying right now.
Just like herpes.
Oh, yeah. Carry that around forever like luggage.
They can't even bury him in Lehigh Valley either.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, they couldn't anyway.
So good luck trying to trade. Well, apparently Vinny is, it's kind of been floated by Vinny's agent that, if you trade for him, he might only play a year, and then that way he gets to go out on his own terms and retire rather than da-da-da-da-da. But that's tricky, because how do we know he doesn't come back, enjoys his year with his new team, and says, I'm coming back? Damn it! You son of a bitch!
So has a lot of that needs to get to the salary floor. They're like, yeah, all right, let's do this. Come on.
Well, but there's not a lot of teams that really need to take on a salary like that to get to the salary floor. That's the thing. I keep hearing this talk of, we could go to a team that get on the salary floor, but the only team that could is Arizona, perhaps. Because even once they
constituted as Arizona, whether or not they stay there.
Yeah, he can go.
They'll still be there. They'll still be there.
They're gonna be the Harlem Globetrotters, no home rank. They're just gonna put 80.
To travel around in the mystery machine. Yeah. But honestly, the Coyotes are the only team that I could see that might be willing to take on a heavy contract to get to the cap floor, because all the other ones, if you crunch the numbers for all the players that they have to re-sign, they're restricted free agents, they will make it easily. They don't need to take on another salary player to do it. So there's not a lot of teams that need to get to the cap floor that would want to take on a contract like that.
Matt Reed's an interesting name. in terms of what you could maybe dangle out there.
Yeah, well, I think they'd be having an easier time moving him definitely than LeCavalier.
Well, yeah, no trade, nothing. No, he's fine. He's perfect. Yep. 29 years old, pretty decent goal scorer, but streaky at best.
Yeah. Definitely second line, not
3 years left on his deal at 3.6.
Definitely better than LeCavalier.
Yeah. So that's something.
I just think it's sad, though. Just with LeCavalier, just how, and again, it's just because of age and injuries, man. But it's sad. I mean, 5 years ago, this guy was, the Canadians damn near gave away Carey Price and PK Subban and Max Pacioretty to get him. And boy, thank God that didn't happen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lyle, we are now back on Ryan O'Reilly watch.
Yeah.
It's been so long and tried so hard, but in the end, it doesn't really matter because he's back on the trade block.
Yeah. Well, they're gauging it. They're gauging it. They see what's out there for.
What happened to the Avalanche in the past 2 years that made them go from the darlings to just utter shite?
Well, they didn't. How do you mean the utter shite? They got a lot of promise on that team. Just contract. That all goes back to Greg Sherman, matching that.
Who? Congratulations!
Yes.
Somehow fleeced him into a new role.
Hey!
Boy, Greggy Sherman.
He stays in the organization.
Somehow, listen.
Your office is that one that says broom closet. Just stick your nameplate over that. It'll be fine.
There is 3 things that'll survive in a nuclear holocaust: cockroaches, spam, and Greg Sherman. He is the senior VP of business relations now. Congratulations, Greg Sherman. Attaboy. You fucking cock. Anyway.
I didn't know he still had a job there. I just thought he was marking time. I thought they'd already escorted him from the building a year ago.
Well, they stopped paying him a year ago.
Last Friday, they gave him a role of senior VP of business and team operations, so he can, he could put his chaise lounge out on Easy Street, kick his feet up with a nice drink, and enjoy the scenery. Oh,
and that could probably be right on the same street that we'll see Ryan O'Reilly departing on the moving van.
With his thumbs. Hey, what's up, guys?
Man, they want to keep him. They want to keep Ryan O'Reilly, but that contract, it's just, he's not going to take a hometown discount. It's so sad when I read the odd comment from an Avs fan that's just hoping against hope that this time it'll be different and he'll take less money if it's a longer term to stay. Okay, he'll take if they offer him 7 years at $6 million, he'll take it. He'll take it. He'll take it. No, he won't. No, he won't. No, he won't. If you learned anything about his contentious contract negotiations with the Avs, no, he won't. He will make easily over $7 million a season on the open market next summer. Especially if he's the only decent free agent available next summer. I mean, if Eric Stahl isn't on the market next summer, or any of the other guys, we know Stamkos won't be. So that's out of the picture.
I hope he does.
I would love it. Oh, man, that'd be fantastic. The bidding war would be insane, and it would last several days. It would last several days.
This would be a Cujo circa 2003.
This would be like Suter and Parise, where they stretched it out for about 4 or 5 days before they finally signed. That was fantastic. I loved it.
Who was it that held interviews? I remember like a couple years ago where there was one guy who was like they were shuffling.
Oh, it was Brad Richards. It was Brad Richards. Yeah. That's right, Johnny. That was 4 years ago. Yeah.
What a pool brother.
Oh, that was fantastic, and he waited a couple of days before, and then he knew he was going all along, but it's just like, we'll just straighten this out for a while. Yeah. No, that was pretty.
That was a hell of a. God damn, Johnny P, with your memory.
Yeah.
I remember the most random shit, don't I?
No shit.
No, but that was awesome, though. Throw that right in there. It's like, yeah, that's right. Brad Richards, where they all shuffled in, and TSN was standing outside the hotel. Yeah.
They were like the representatives from the Red Wings.
Brad watching.
I think the Red Wings are walking in the front door right now. Yes, we have confirmed it's the representatives from the Red Wings that are going to talk to Brad Richards right now.
That's they're bringing Little Caesars. They're bringing the crazy bread is on the hizzy.
Yes. Oh man, that was fantastic. And then at the end of the day, he just stood there so disappointed is that there won't be any decision from Brad today. They're going to continue the talks tomorrow. No decision today. And you could just see the disgust on the guy's faces. Like, I can't believe I wasted 8 fucking hours standing out here in this heat. Don't. As soon as he said, "We're clear," son of a fucking eggs that went flying.
Clint Dempsey on shit. You start.
Said, "I am not coming back out here tomorrow. Fuck you guys. I'm going to my cottage."
I mean, he was also in a suit outside for 8 hours.
And that was a boiling hot day that day in Toronto. That was a
winter.
Oh yeah, that was a boiling hot day in Toronto that day. So yeah,
my goodness,
that was fun. Good times. But anyway, no, Stammer won't be the guy. But yeah, if Ryan O'Reilly becomes an unrestricted free agent next summer, he will make well over $7 million a season, and teams will line up and happily pay for it. So I think the Avs got to move him. I know they don't want to, but I think once you start, once it starts being leaked that you're actively listening or willing to entertain offers, though it doesn't necessarily mean you'll trade him. Nah, that's true. If they don't get an offer they like, they won't trade him now. But they could trade him during the season. They could trade him at the trade deadline if they're out of the playoffs again. Yeah. So, yeah. Like I said, I really think they've got no choice. They let Paul Stastny walk last year, right? I mean, they kept him, hoped they would help in the playoffs. And they let him walk because they weren't willing to pay him the big bucks that he wanted. And I think they'll do the same with Ryan O'Reilly, but I think this time it's going to be, okay, look, we got to get something back here. So, I think they're going to try and trade him before the deadline. Or before the deadline, before the draft.
Before the draft. Before the deadline.
Before the deadline for the draft. That's what I meant. Yeah, deadline for the draft. Yeah, I'm not tired.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. You're half a beard. It's By the way, I have grown my beard out for a week because I haven't shaved since last Tuesday, and this is the most agitating thing. I don't know how the hell you did it for the 69 days. 69.
Just used to it. I grew a beard in my
Mark forgot to mute.
Okay. Huh? What? What are you saying? Mom, what are you talking about?
Wait a minute.
No, but to your question, Scott, the only reason why I'm used to two things. First of all, older leathery skin, and I had a beard during my military day for half of my 25-year military career, so that's why I was used to the itchy and scratchy show after the first week. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Tremendous. Good times had by all. Oh, by the way, in the Hall of Fame debate, I forgot to mention one name, and that's Marian Hossa. Yay, nay,
yes. Yeah. Marian Hossa gets in. Yeah, I know he didn't get any individual awards, blah blah blah, but I mean, Sean McKendall made a great case for him. Over in Grantland, the only regular, reliable hockey writer over in Grantland, and he made a great case for him. The bottom line is like they said, every hockey person that you talk to. They said when you mention Marian Hossa, they said their faces and their eyes just light up and they can't stop talking about what a great player he is. And, this isn't like, fans or something like that. Like they're talking coaches, general managers, scouts, former players, current players. They all just rave about the guy. So, yeah, it'll take him a bit of time, but I think he'll get into the Hall of Fame down the road, certainly.
Another, probably not second year. We're in an era where everyone's just like, these people were so good in their era, they got to get in first ballot. It's just like, wow, I don't know, guys. Let's stop with the hyperbole a little bit here.
Yeah.
I don't get the Chris Pong, these guys were good, but I don't know.
Well, who's on the ballot this year, Scotty?
Who's on the ballot? What is this going to be, 2015?
Yeah, the class of 2015. Well, Fedorov's on there, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Lindstrom is on there. Nick Lidstrom.
Oh, in first ballot,
He's
no
in
question.
for sure. Fedorov is in for first ballot.
First ballot for sure.
Who else? Come on, scroll. Fedorov, Chris Pronger.
First ballot.
Angela Rigario, who's female U.S. I think she's going to be in the female district.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Sergei Makarov.
No, not this year.
Paul Kariya.
Sadly, not this year. He deserves to be, but not this year.
Sergei Zubov.
Not this year.
McGillney.
Not this year.
Lindros.
Not this year, sadly.
Yeah. Mark Recchi.
Not this year.
Chris Osgood.
Not this year.
Andrew Chuck.
Not this year.
And Roenick.
Not this year. Because look at the guys that are ahead of them. Really, this is a depth chart thing, and look at the guys that's ahead of them. Lidstrom, one of the greatest defense. He's, behind Bobby Orr, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of the all-time greats. Nick Lidstrom, without question. Chris Pronger, like I said, the last defenseman to win the Hart and the Norris Trophy, a dominant defenseman in his era. He's first ballot. Fedorov, Selke winner. What else did he win? I know he won another award.
All around badass.
Was he Rookie of the Year? Yeah, all around badass. But Fedorov, just in his prime, a tremendous two-way player. So yeah, he's definitely. I think I'll be very surprised if he doesn't go first ballot. But then everybody else after that, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, they're going to have to wait.
I forgot to ask. Because I wasn't watching the game last night. Did Jeremy Roenick cry?
I don't think he did.
What?
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a yearly occurrence. Now.
3 cups in, that's it. Yeah. Once you hit the third
fine.
cup, it's like, okay, this is all hat now. See, and once again, this brings us back to yet another sign that the Blackhawks are a dynasty. When Jeremy Roenick no longer cries when the Blackhawks win a Stanley Cup.
When he's not whining like a little girl, then.
Yeah. You know you're a dynasty. Here's the true calling card. You know your NHL team is a Stanley Cup dynasty when the papers announce that the parade will follow the usual route.
There you go. Perfect.
Yep.
And then away we go. Perfect time. All right. Shall we?
Do it.
Here we go.
What are you reading this week?
I am reading. Let me close out these files. I'm reading Taking a Shot.
Ah, another classic.
Another
Okay.
classic, obviously.
Have we not done this one before?
Oh, we have.
There's only 2 hockey books. There's only 2 hockey books and we're rotating.
Taking a shot. So the Masterpiece Theater intro again?
Sure, do we have any? I'll just do this on my regular, the British voice kind of bullshit. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, and welcome to another series of Scotty Waz Reads Hockey Erotica. This week, Scotty reads another extract from Taking the Shot.
He squeezed her legs and the room got hotter. So you can get rough with the guys, huh? You bet. You're not one of those 60 girls who can't take a little heat. Hell no. How much can you take? Her breast ached and her pussy quivered with the knowledge that she wanted him, and she knew exactly where this was going. How much you got? He hauled her off the chair and into his arms, his mouth coming down on hers, and a hard, hot kiss that swallowed her gasps. She tangled her fingers in his hair and yanked on the strand while he grabbed her ass. She wrapped her legs around his hips, clamping tight while he walked the short distance to a table to set her up on top of it. She was panting when he let go of her. Aren't there going to be people coming in here? He left only long enough to flip the security lock on the door and then grab the remote, click the button, and close the blinds overlooking the ice, shading them in complete privacy. He turned back to her. Take off your pants. She kicked off her boots and slid out of her jeans and tights, leaving her only in her panties and shirt. He hovered over her, then bent to kiss her knee. She sifted her fingers through his hair, loving its softness, so incongruent with his overall toughness. He kissed his way up her thighs. And when he dragged her butt to the edge of the table, she leaned back on her hands, desperate for him to touch her, to taste her, to make her come. Her pussy quivered in anticipation, what she knew she was going to do. This was so forbidden. The thought of someone coming through the door excited her beyond measure. I think about you when I'm not with you, he said, as he pressed a kiss to her inner thigh. I think about your smile, your laugh, how beautiful you are. He swept his hand across her panties and she let out a breath. I think about your pussy and how sweet it tastes. Ew! And how it looks when you come. He slipped his hands under her butt to lift her, parted the material of her panties aside, and put his mouth on her. Oh, yes, that's what I want, she whispered, laying her hand on his head as he swept her tongue across her clit. Warmth exploded inside her. Gross! As she caressed her sex with his lips, then dragged his tongue up across her pussy lips, fucking her with his tongue until she was sure she'd die from the way of sensation. She arched against him, wanting more and more, but she wasn't going to last because he found her piercing and tugged at it with his teeth, flicked with his tongue, and the vibration sent her right over the edge. He sucked her clit, and she came, whimpering, trying to hold it in because there weren't somewhere she could let out a scream. She bit back. He held onto her tight, his tongue against her clit as her climax rolled in sweet pulses that made her shudder.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh,
hold
sorry.
on.
Sorry.
There's more.
Oh, sorry.
Back and dragged her panties off and bent her over the table, then unzipped his pants and released his cock. Let's see how rough you really like it. Here we go. Her pussy quivered and tore open a condom and he positioned himself. He spread her legs apart, caressed her butt, spreading her ass cheeks, petting her and sweeping his fingers between her legs to rub her pussy. She couldn't take it any longer. She looked at him over the shoulder. Ty, hurry. She felt his cock at the entrance to her pussy, teasing her as he petted her with his cockhead. She lifted her ass, teasing him back until he thrusted and buried himself inside her. Ty stilled, his cock twitching as he filled himself inside Jenna's sweet, hot pussy. She drove him crazy, challenged him to give her what they both wanted. She arched her ass against him, torturing him with hot moans and whimpers that rocked his balls.
Oh, you made yourself
I actually
laugh.
remember that song from the 80s.
You made yourself laugh, Scotty.
Like, how can there rock? Oh, and then he reared back, obliterate whatever bit of control he'd been holding on to. His fingers bit into her ass. What? As he reared back and plunged harder, rewarded when she threw her head back and said, "Yes, oh God, yes. You have a sweet ass, Jenna." He gave her butt a light tap with his hand, and her pussy squeezed around him. While she moaned in response, she laid her head on her and her fingers gripping the edge of the table. He smacked the other globe and fucked his cock into her. What? She shoved her pussy back against him, asking, I can't. She was going to make him come hard tonight. His cock swelled thick, his balls drawn his head. He gave her another swap harder this time. Okay, I can't. No, this is getting worse. Like, this is the most vile one of yet.
Oh, man.
It doesn't even get any better.
Okay.
The entire time, I'm trying to think how short a table has to be in order for me to
He drove her pussy against his cock, tilted her head back, crying out as she came, feeling her muscles clench around him, watching her as she climaxed with the hottest thing he'd ever seen. He lost it, grabbing hold of her hip, driving deep into her as he came, letting loose a battle cry of his own.
A battle cry?
Like, honestly, are we, like...
Superfly!
What's the battle cry, though? Is he, like, standing in this room, like, with his arms up in the air, going, "Are you not entertained?" I mean, Jesus!
Anchors away! Oh, God. That...
roll tide! Oh!
Roll tide.
Oh my God.
That
was vile even for me.
That one, I can really sense toward the end you weren't getting into it, Scotty. Once you made yourself laugh, I knew you'd lost the bubble by that point.
Yeah, because I'm like, it whimpers, it rocked his ball. I'm just like, this is, like, how is this possible?
Yeah, okay.
He smacked the other globe? Like, come on.
Okay, couple points.
Yes.
First of all, what's with the quivering pussy all the time? I mean...
Am I the only one that, whenever I hear the word quiver, I think of fucking, like, archery? Like,
yeah.
Isn't that what you carry your arrows in?
Yeah. Yes, a quiver, and not Quiverful, the religious
well,
group.
she's carrying someone's arrow. Holy Jesus.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe that's what it is, and but yeah.
Maybe he's got a quiver full of pussies.
And secondly, I think by that point they either changed editors or the editor must have quit by that point because there was a lot of repetitive phrases going on in that segment that a good editor would have turned around and said, okay, look. One quivering pussy in this segment is fine, but if you need to describe it again, you've got to find different ways to describe it.
Right-click and use the damn
all the time.
Does she not own a thesaurus? Like, what's...
I still think it's a he. I still think it's a male author writing with a female pseudonym. I'm telling you. It just doesn't sound like something that a woman would write.
This could be the greatest thing ever. Like, this might be an act out. Like, well, not act out. That'd be really weird.
How are we acting this out? Jesus Christ.
Wow. Hey, listen, I'm willing to go along with you this only so far, Scotty.
You know what? I'll commit to the bit, and I'll just guilt Jen into it. Like, you exposed me to this bullshit, so let's go. Next man up. We should act this out with, like, claymation. Just get a lot of Play-Doh and somehow act it out, and
still photography.
Still photography. Make it happen.
Yeah, claymation I think is the only way that could make this work without us getting arrested.
He pulled her off the table.
Actually, what if we just use the Team America sex scene video?
Yeah,
and read this on top of it.
Exactly. It'll be perfect. It will work in every situation.
Letting her taste her own salty sweetness. Okay. Dear Penthouse,
I always thought that your letters were bullshit, but then this happened to me.
But then I worked for a hockey team, and this was the most boon I got for years.
There was a lot of quivering vagina.
The amount of quivering vagina would make the Green Arrow fuck.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Oof, boy, oh boy. Well, and for nothing else, my friend, they are entertaining. In short bursts. I couldn't sit still and listen to you read like 4 or 5 chapters of this. After a while, I'd be just like, okay,
so
nah.
I don't think I could.
Part, though. Have you actually read any of this, Scotty? Like, are you just reading episodes that's on?
I'm just reading it as it happens. I am not going through.
All right, well that's good.
I'm just trying to make sure I'm looking at things, because every sex scene is the same.
I'm kind of wondering what is the fucking plot?
There is none.
No, I mean,
There is no plot.
I mean, how does the book get from like point A to point B?
Whew.
Because it's
What
just
drives this thing? I agree with you, Johnny. What's driving this story other than the constant
copier that
sex?
needs fixing? I mean, every porn I've ever seen, there's a copier that needs to be fixed. Or somebody ordered a pizza. One of the two.
Something to drive the story along. You've got to have a little smattering of plot in there.
Oh my, I'm just.
I
Like,
would love it if this thing actually had a real like hockey plot behind
to be
it.
fair, as I was skimming through it, I did see them doing a play-by-play of what Ty was doing during the game and missing a shot on a 2-on-1. I don't know if that was actually sexual or during the game. I can't tell these days. It all blends together. But it's just like basically I'm just trying to read through it, see if I remember reading something like this before, because it's all the goddamn same thing.
Yes, it is. It is. Oh my God!
You have to use the PDF version and find cup her sex, and then every time you find that, just read the excerpt that's tied to it.
I mean, has the bubble finally burst for Scotty on this? I mean, is
well,
it?
Maybe for the hockey ones. There are 9 other in this series, Lau. We can
Don't bust that nut just yet. We'll be right back.
we can go to baseball if you want to, brother. Like I'm pretty sure there's a couple baseball books that I'm sure have no innuendo whatsoever.
Well, I will leave that up to your judgment. It's just, as I said, it's just, I don't know. Maybe we're starting to reach the point in the series because, as I said, there's a lot of repetition going on in this by this point, and I don't mean in a sexual way, but just in the way it's written.
How many times does the phrase "cup or sex" show up?
Oh my God, Lipton's cup of sex. There you go.
Let's see. Sex. All right, so I just typed in sex. Still thinking.
How many matches?
100. You guys want to go ahead and guess?
How many pages?
The PDF file is 373.
We're gonna say there are 515 mentions.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go lower with this. I'm gonna say 325.
Mark, do you care?
I'm gonna go.
Mark, you've been so quiet and so still. I actually thought that was just a GIF of you.
412.
412. Only 115 for sex.
What?
Yeah, I know. Let's.
Wow, quivering.
Yeah.
All right.
Quivering.
Wow. Quivering. It's still thinking, but we go ahead. We only got. You know what? I'm gonna. A spoiler alert. Only got 3 in this one.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And I think they all got used. And I think they all got used in that segment.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Wow.
The term butt is 48.
Okay, I gotta ask, cock. How many times is that in there?
The term cup 35. So that's something.
Well, yeah. But is it actually cup as in cupping or
No,
cup
it's
as
all
in
cupping
cup
the
of
stuff.
coffee or Stanley Cup?
Cock is 104.
Well, of course it is.
I figured it would be up there.
Breast is only 32. Wow.
Gee.
How about that?
See, this is why I think it's written by a guy.
Okay, so how many times is the word hockey in it?
Well,
That's a
first,
fantastic question.
clit is in there 33, and hockey. Wow, 57.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay. Well, at least they kept reminding us what the theme of the
I was kind of hoping it was going to come back not found.
I was hoping for like only 7 mentions. That's something like that. A single-digit mention of it in there.
Yeah. Hockey erotica, catch the fever.
Boy,
And
howdy.
maybe something else by
That's
reading
not
it.
all your kids.
Yeah. Chlamydia. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's
out and about, including chlamydia.
I will have to find the baseball ones now.
Yeah, I think so. We're into the
That is the
hockey's,
summer of fun.
so hockey's over, and yeah, the thoughts turn to baseball. So why not? Why not? Hey, next week. Listen, you guys are still. Yeah, you guys are still going to Florida. Well, everybody except Mark, because Mark's got a wedding. Mark's got got a wedding to plan.
We'll see what I can do if I have to email some people and maybe sick some people on some other people.
Oh, still haven't heard.
Fuck no.
Bastards. Jesus, they're doing it again, man. No, seriously, that's
big way there.
friggin' horse shit, man.
You think?
I know. I'm sorry for stating the blatantly obvious, but fuck. I know I'm not going, but still, that pisses me off. Come on, man. You don't treat people like that.
Pisses you off? How do you fucking think we feel about
I know.
already paying for our tickets?
Mm.
At least Johnny's going to go down and have a fun time because he needs some time off, even if it's a thing. I'm there. Worst case scenario, I'm going to try to switch it to Mark's wedding if I can switch flights.
Mm.
Make it happen. Call Sean. He'll make it happen.
Yeah, I'm going to stick Sean on the NHL, and then if that doesn't work, I'm going to stick him on Travelocity to get me to change my flights.
Yeah, really. Well, because I tell you, if it's going to be kind of like that, if it's going to be like that, well, then I got to wonder. I mean, is Buffalo even going to happen? You know.
Or it's not even going to happen. Are we even going to try Buffalo?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's just like, why, what the fuck?
Because I gotta be on. I mean, listen, going to the draft is fine and all that, but I mean, the real reason why I go is so I can hang out with you guys for a change.
That's really why we go, is to hang out with the people we don't see all the time.
Well, yeah.
You and Johnny or Mark or both hang out with them a lot. Maybe. I don't know. Could be.
Giuseppe, most likely.
Yeah. So it's just kind of
yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's great to actually be there and da-da-da, but I got that out of my system in the 1 and 09, for heaven's sake. I mean, after that, it's like, man, it's just great to go and hang out with people and just...
It's by the book after that. It's just everything is the same.
Yeah, so it's just, well, we meet, go and, hang out with old friends, meet some new ones, shoot the shit, tell stories, get drunk, have fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
Pretty much.
Yes.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to leave on that bitter note.
Well, if you guys are going... So if you guys are going, I mean, the draft is being next weekend. Are you guys still doing like a Wednesday night show?
Yeah, we will. Cause
okay.
Johnny, your flight doesn't leave the Thursday either, right?
Yes, Thursday.
Yeah,
okay.
So both our flights tentatively... Well, Johnny's does leave on Thursday. Mine tentatively leaves on Thursday.
I'm going either way. I don't really have to.
Okay. Johnny's going to enjoy the beach because he needs some time off. He's been traveling around. He got stuck in Las Vegas for 80 hours.
I saw that. By the way, Johnny, I got to say, though, that I told the guys last week, though, that was a great segment of you, like, just wandering around the airport. And that was great, man. I enjoyed that. You should maybe once a month. Like, not saying you have to go and do that in the airport.
Just go to BWI.
Just go wander around sometime. Just for one of the shows, just go, yeah, this is Johnny on remote cam. Just wander around while we're doing the show. Oh, here's some interesting shit while we're talking about hockey. It'd be awesome.
It was pretty funny.
It was, especially when, what was her name, Merg? They kept calling and paging her for a flight.
Whoever. So I didn't realize how good that microphone was. Apparently.
Oh, that was crystal clear, man.
Yeah.
It was really good. It picked up a lot.
Yeah.
But the camera, but the video we're shooting, that was really good too. Like,
yeah, that was from my new iPad.
Yeah, it wasn't herky jerky or anything at all. It was really smooth, and yeah, it was quite entertaining.
Yes, I ended up going into that Hudson News after I showed some.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Their merchandise, and I bought something because I felt bad.
What did you buy?
Hey, Johnny, that's not how payola should work, brother.
What did you buy?
I got these magnets, poker chip magnets.
Oh, okay.
And I gave them to like the rest of my team at work, so we have them like on our cubes at work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, kind of something worthwhile. Yeah.
Pretty good.
I went in and I bought a stick of gum.
Yeah, I don't have. I already have shot glasses, dice, and But I think the last time I was in Vegas, I bought metal shot glasses because they would be easier to play quarters with.
Nice.
I need to look for those. I think they're around here somewhere.
There you go.
I got combos at the Hudson News in Minneapolis because we don't have combos in Canada.
Contraband.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Along with bird cookies, I smuggled in. So there you go. Lyle, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Hopefully by next week we'll know if we have draft credentials, and you'll know by either me celebrating that we have them or scorching the earth of the NHL by not getting them.
Either way, it will be an awesome show.
Because I am sending the email as of right now, saying hope all is well. Just wondering if there's any update for the credentials for myself and Jonathan Matanzo. We want to know if we need to change/cancel our plans for the draft weekend. Does that sound diplomatic?
Yes, it does, actually, with not a hint of malice. It actually does. Yeah.
That comes after when we get rejected and I just go on a fucking rampage.
In which case, you are totally entitled, my friend.
Okay, so let's be honest.
Totally entitled.
Let's be honest. We could do it on the show next Wednesday because they obviously don't watch the show anyway.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, well,
Not like it's gonna hurt your chances.
Nope. And I'll just build it up to a big way, and we'll just we'll get Lyle on first segment and kill that immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Ah, shit. All
Pretty
right.
much.
Well, that's
All
all.
right, guys.
Lyle, thanks a lot, buddy.
I'll be crossing my fingers for you guys, man. And
Please do. Cross your fingers and your toes.
doing it. Already done. I'll be walking funny for a week, but there you go.
Kind of
See,
weird.
it's
Yeah.
sad. Apathy. I think I've reached the point of apathy where I don't even care.
I
Either way.
care a little bit, but not enough to be too
The only
fucked
reason
up over
I'm
it like I was a
pissed
couple
is
years
because
back.
we spent money.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm pissed off about it is we spent money and we've gone the last 13.
But the draft itself, I think I've gotten to the point where if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and we had a great run. We talked to a lot of cool people, and we would still have all the friends that we made, but...
There's only
fuck
one
it.
thing I want to chase down when I'm there, and that's something I can do through other
We
avenues
can't
as
force
well.
the NHL to allow us to cover them.
Nope, I can really rip the fuck out of them.
Yep. Yes,
you
you
can
can.
really rip the fuck out of them
Yep.
for this
You're
bullshit that they pulled. Whatever.
But
Not bitter.
we'll
Not
deal
bitter.
with that. We will deal with that next week, my friend.
Cross that bridge when we come to it, and hopefully don't have to burn it.
Blow it up and then burn it.
Blow it up, burn it, and then piss on the ashes. Lyle,
There
it's
you
been
go.
fun, buddy.
We'll talk to you guys next week.
Talk to you next week.
Take care.
See you, buddy. There he goes. Lyle, SpectreShockey.net. I almost said Fox Sports. HockeyNews.com.
Fox Sports 1.
BlueBeachReport.com and the PEI Guardian, Island Guardian. Johnny, got any shout-outs?
Yeah, speaking of Fox Sports 1, shout out to Rob Stone and Eric Winalda. Women's World Cup, catch the fever. Knockout stages start this weekend. So find your local Fox stations.
Find your local Fox Sports 1 if it's on your service provider or not.
Fox Sports 2 is a little bit harder to find, and it's probably in standard definition. So you don't want to watch that because it's like watching a sporting event from 1982.
There it is.
What else? I have a shout out to Vegas. It was fun.
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
All in all, good trip. Today it was actually my first day back to work. Well, Monday, sorry, was my first day back to work since Vegas, and I am looking forward to next week's vacation.
There you go.
So it is what it is. And
Put him back online digitally.
hi. What else? I thought I had an actual shout out. I don't know.
That's a shame.
To hell with it.
Hell. All right. Mark Flyby, anything, buddy?
I'm gonna give a shout out to let's see, I'm watching Nationals. Going to a Nationals game this weekend, so that should be fun. Shout out to the O's for kicking some ass recently. Shout out to the Blackhawks for winning the cup. It's a dynasty.
Are you also going to shout out Sunrise for holding the draft?
No. No. You know why.
You know why.
And I guess that's about it.
Sounds good, buddy. Shout out to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse and Grill. Steakhouse and Bar. Great times, good memories. It's funny, I walk in there Friday. I told one of the cooks that I was going to be there, and apparently at 11 o'clock before I strolled in, my buddy Black Mike said, guys, I bet you Scotty's going to be here. 2 seconds later, I walk in, and he just like def jams the whole thing. Shout out to Black Mike, too. Happy birthday to him. Turns 32, so he joins the 32 crew. Shout out to Blow Pop, shout out to Combos, shout out to other food that I can't get up in Canada. That's so delicious. Shout out to my dad, Big Stan, for going to the baseball game and having fun with all that. Shout out to Delta for their first class fantasticness. And that's it. That's all. Guess what, everybody? Hope, pray, and hope and pray that we get the credentials, or else hope and pray that I'm drunk or I'm of right of mind to really put a thought together that's not just yelling and cursing towards them. So we'll see what next week brings. It's going to be fun either way, kids. You can go ahead and check us out then. But for Johnny P. Mark with a C, I'm Scotty Watts. Take care of yourself and someone else. Face Off Hockey Show on faceoffhockeyshow.com. That's also our Tumblr. FOHS Radio is our Facebook page. And Face Off HCKY Show is our Twitter. Fun times to happen next week, I'm sure, as it's St. John Baptiste Day here in Canada. So it's going to be a fun time. We don't get any extra pay for that because it's not a stat holiday because it's only the Frenchies. So whatever, these things happen. But until next week when we talk to you, come hell or high water, about what we don't know, we'll see about that when it comes. Until next week, peace.
Peace.
Peace.